Hey, how they have stuff pre-installed and you can't remove it.
Yeah, you can't remove the Microsoft
Yeah.
thing anymore. All right, and we are live here at In Your Head Wrestling Radio. I am the internet icon, the pride of the pilgrims, the most honest man in all of podcasting, handsome Jackie Jones here in Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, everyone out there to the Headyverse, along with my right-hand man, my audio soulmate, and the enforcer of the Headyverse.
1 inch biceps, the power goat. Bah! Ha ha! I'm the man who tells you what to do, the boss, baby.
Excellent. I like it when you have the pause there. Instead of being the boss baby, I'm the boss, baby.
That's how it goes, yeah. Thank
I
you,
got
sir.
my unscripted mocks shirt on, unscripted violence.
Oh, okay. Cool.
They just had their baby.
Oh, they did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. That's awesome. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, set on the Facebook. Yeah, it's on the Facebook. That was very cool. Always been a fan of Moxley. He's always good to us on the show. I was happy when he went to the WWE. I even congratulated him. He replied. And the only reason I bring it up because there's been other people we've had on the show, and they get a contract WWE. I reach out to them and congratulate them. They don't reply at all. They don't want anything to do with you. But he was a guy who replied and was like, "Thank you, appreciated that. We were happy for
him." Yeah.
Doing well. Yeah, I didn't know either until it was on our Facebook page. So join the In Your Head Facebook. That's over at the just go to Facebook, search for In Your Head. You can follow us on all the social media sites, Incher. And don't forget to subscribe or hit the bell icon so you get all the notifications. But we're most active on Facebook. And I always feel really old and out of date when people are like, "Oh yeah, you remember MySpace, and then there was Facebook." No one ever uses these anymore. And I'm like, "Oh, that's the one I use."
Is Facebook the one that's like kind of passe now, and
Yeah,
we're still
people like
using
that.
it?
Yeah, we're like we've got all our stuff over on the Facebook.
There's still a lot of people on Facebook though, and
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
like,
I don't think anyone's on MySpace.
yeah, and it's like I remember the transition from MySpace to Facebook. MySpace got pretty dead after a while. Like it was just nobody was there. So I don't think Facebook is there yet, is it? Or am I just out of touch? And I'm out of my mind because you're not around.
Yeah, MySpace exists, but I tried to log in, like I couldn't do it. Everybody's yelling at me. Don't tell people to join Facebook. I think a Facebook group is active. We have our community. A big part of the podcast for me has always been the community aspect. The Headyverse. You get together with the friends. Now I'm going to say this right away because this will come up on the show. First of all, I've been attacked. I don't want to make this about me, but there are people like I should feel guilty for telling people to join the Facebook, but I don't feel guilty at what someone joins Facebook. What they do is up to them. But we are not here to roast our friend, Hincher. We're not here to ridicule, or make little or light or make him feel bad. We are fans and friends of Lexar, and some bad things have happened. But I'm also honest. I know, Hincher is honest. We're not gonna trash a man, but lessons should be learned.
That's true. Lessons should be learned. But yeah, I feel bad for him, honestly. I really do. But
I've been talking to the guy. I was talking to him last night at the casino. I was at the casino, sending him pictures of the money I was winning.
He's kind of. I don't know if that's trying to make him feel better. If you're sending him the money that you've been winning, like that, that's probably like kicking him while he's down. I think.
But I think you should be happy. I would be happy for a friend if they were winning money. It's not like the money I won in the casino came out of his pocket. It's not like I play the slot machine and oh shit, here I win the progressive money, and it just starts pouring out of his pockets.
Here's my line of thinking. When you show him the money that you've been winning, it makes him want to go to the casino, but his luck isn't quite as good as yours. He doesn't have the lady luck with him.
Oh,
Why does luck be a lady tonight?
luck with the lady.
I don't know what that even means. What?
Yeah, I don't know that either. Does that mean you gotta fuck the luck?
I
Or make
guess.
sweet love to the luck? I don't know what's going on. Or maybe it'll blackmail you. Maybe luck will blackmail you. Maybe there's something to this.
Maybe. Well, do you want to explain to people what? I feel bad even bringing it up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's my place, but I mean, let's do it. So,
but let's do it.
right. So everyone's waiting for this. People are saying going to build it up.
No, we're going into
up.
it like at the beginning of the show. I think the whole show is probably going to be about this because really, I can talk about Impact if you guys want, but I don't think anybody wants that.
Right. So it's a glorious day at first because the mighty Lexar joined Facebook. I was very excited. Joined Facebook. He messaged me.
But he's been on Facebook for a while, hasn't he?
No, he's been on. He was on literally not even 3 days till he was left
3
Facebook.
days?
Yeah.
Were we friends though? That's what I was thinking because I seen his. Maybe I wasn't even friends with him then.
No.
Huh.
Jeez. He joined after we did the show last week. He wasn't even on the show last week when we were doing. He was not a part of Facebook at that time.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought he was there.
Facebook was sending naughties, got blackmailed. We're going to go through all this in detail, but just give you an outline. Had the naughty sent to his friends and cohorts, left Facebook. All of this in a 3-day span.
Mm-hmm.
All since we were here last week. There's more happening in the social media life of Lexar than all of wrestling last week.
Okay, just explain what exactly happened because I think people who aren't in the know probably don't know, but
so he joins Facebook.
Yes.
Joins Facebook. Finally, he's like, I'm going to join this Facebook. So then I send him a like, hey, come and join the group, interact with all the buddies. I make a post welcoming Lexar to Facebook for the first time he joins it. The Headyverse, they're throwing babies in the air. They're lighting off fireworks. They're dancing in the streets. It's a gay old time, and I mean gay, in the way having fun.
Yeah.
And the old timey, gay. And so everyone's just having a good old time. Lexar's here, a legend of the Headyverse, and I'm not being facetious. He's a legend of the Headyverse, a legend of In Your Head, one of my favorite callers, and I consider the man a friend. So I was happy he was on the Facebook. He's on social media. We welcome him. We give him a hero's welcome to the Headyverse.
Mm-hmm.
There he starts adding buddies, going about his business. And then I get this message. Well, first, I guess he's posted on social media on Facebook that something was going on, but I did not see this. I saw the messages from him first. So apparently what happened was what he thought was a woman. It could still be a woman. I'm pretty sure it's a guy. But either way, regardless, it's a bot. It's not the person they claim to be.
Exactly, yeah.
Added him on Facebook, pretending to be an attractive young lady who works at Kroger's, the head cashier of Kroger's. And I'm wondering if head cashier is sort of like, because I've never heard of a head cashier. I just thought they were cashiers. Mm-hmm. But as a head cashier, do they mean it sort of like the head cheerleader Francine? Which could add to all the temptation.
The mystique of the whole story.
Exactly. So I don't know the exact details here. I'm a little fuzzy. I don't know. I think, because this is what he said, she sent him nudes first.
Uh-huh.
And so he tells me, he's like, this woman I don't know sent me nudes and asked me for them. So I sent them back. So this woman he doesn't know immediately friends him. He immediately gets nudes. He immediately responds to these nudes with nudes of his own.
He didn't consult you first?
No, I mean these are red flags everywhere. And he's not an old man, and he's not a young child. I would think. I know he's not. He's not really been on social media, but I think you should be somewhat savvy of the ways of the internet. Which I'll get into, because apparently he even watched a documentary about this. This is why
So
he didn't want to go.
He's all studied up now.
No, before he even joins. I don't know how this happened, but so I mean, he goes on Facebook. He immediately, this woman he doesn't know. No, I see these people are friending you from in your head. You know, hey, here's Beef. Here's Kai Spires, Jackie Jones, Vic Schiavone, the Song Man. Interest nowhere to be found. But, you know, all the buddies of the Owl, all the friends are adding him.
I think probably the last mention was maybe why I'm not around, but.
So anyway, so he's at, and he probably doesn't know what handle you go by is the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He may not be aware of my account, but I am JD Howard because I used to be 1 Inch Biceps, but somebody reported my freaking account. And did they say, okay, you got one strike? No, they went directly to send us an ID of your photo on it. And
what's really weird about all this is okay, so that happened. That's happened to me, but I had my ID. But why they think I would fake the name Neil Jones, I don't know. But I reported this bot account after this happened to Lexar.
Yeah.
And I get the next day or a few hours later, I get a thing back. We looked into it, and there's nothing wrong with this account. I'm like, there's no way they asked her for ID or anything. They just looked and whatever. So people who don't do anything, they get kicked off all the time. Someone's blackmailing somebody with a fake name and fake account. Nothing happens.
Exactly. I mean, did you explain the whole story though for everybody who's listening?
No, we took a little tangent here.
Yeah.
So he joins Facebook to recount here, to retell his story. Joins Facebook, immediately gets a friend request from an attractive young lady he does not know. They apparently send him nude pictures, I guess, saying it's her. And once I'm back, he reciprocates with pictures of himself.
And GGB says she reported the bot too. So
yeah, and they were adding everybody. They were even adding neighbors of Vic Schiavone.
I even got an ad request.
Yeah, I did too.
And I looked at the account, and here's like my determining factor on whether I should add the account or not. I will go to how long the account has been.
Right, they've been there for like 2 weeks.
Well, this one said 2019.
Oh, okay.
I saw 2019, and I said, I'm about 75% sure this is a fake account. And I said, but it does say 2019, so I'll go ahead and add them. So.
Oh, you added the person.
I did add the person, but then and as soon as I seen the first, like they PM'd me because I went to bed because I work midnights.
Are there going to be anything popping up of the entry?
No. But I will say there was some strangeness whenever I went to block the person.
Yeah.
Like, it took me to the web browser inside my phone, and it was like sign in to Facebook, which Facebook never asked me. So I was like, this is weird. I did not do that. I did not enter my password. I went to Facebook, the app, and then found the person, then blocked them. So
weird.
Yeah, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's interesting. So people, I forget the name offhand. I'll find it because it's still in my friend. And why I'm giving this out, just to warn the rest of the people, not to accept, because a lot of the Headyverse is listening to this, and apparently people connected to the Headyverse. So because Vic's elderly neighbor, Eileen,
that's the account. Cooper. That's the account right there.
Mm-hmm.
They sent
me this. How are you? Sounds good. Don't worry. I saw your profile. I liked it. And it made me want to send you a friend request to contact you, to get to know you, and good friendship, if you don't mind. Probably the next step was boom. Here's my lady parts.
Well, I did not reply to that, and as soon as I saw that PM, I was like, "Oh, it's a fake account." I mean, look at this broken English, you know.
Right, right.
I mean, this is worse. This is worse broken English than my own. So,
So they send him pictures. I'm not sure. Didn't see those pictures.
and I knew Pat Patterson was dead, so I was like, "It's not Pat
Right. And
Patterson
she didn't
anymore."
say you're gonna go banana.
Yeah, that's true
She
too.
just said, "Show me the banana." So he sends pictures of himself. I'm not sure if he sent pictures or if he actually went on video, because I saw like there was multiple like video calls. So I'm not sure if she went on video and showed herself. If so, it has to be an actual person there. I'm murky on the exact details. So I don't know if she sent out screenshots of a video, if there's a video that exists,
Hmm.
or if it was just still pictures sent back and forth. I'm not sure, because I did
Was it
see, and also she tried to do video calls with Kai and other Headyverse members.
was there interaction between Lexar and this?
I apparently
Huh.
there's some to some degree, because there was
Hmm.
pictures, either pictures or videos sent to each other.
Now I'm wondering if like it could have been a video and they were playing it on their computer and somehow fed it
Like the
in
cam, whatever. Who
yeah,
was the back in on our what was them?
Stacy
We used to
cam.
use Stacy Cam. That was a
Why'd
short-lived
I come up with that so quickly?
Stacy Cam. I'm not saying Stacy Cam, but that website we used to use, it was short-lived. But I actually thought it was probably our best until YouTube. I think it was our best platform to do live shows,
Yeah.
because the chat
Oh,
room was incorporated well, and
was
you could
Mixler?
actually do the no, it's before
Mixler
Mixler.
is before that one?
Yeah, it didn't last long, the
Hmm.
website, but you could do the live. We did the live shows themselves right off of it.
Oh.
And I remember like we get like hundreds of people in there. It was good. But anyway,
Yeah, that was a
regardless
good
of
one.
that. So the pictures go back and forth, the video. I'm not sure how it happens. And then she starts sending stuff about, this is just straight blackmail. You're gonna send me money, or I'm gonna send these pictures or video, whatever they are. Was end up being pictures of
Mhm.
you that you sent to me to your friends and family on Facebook. So he's wondering what to do. Do I block? I was like, blocker. Uh, you know, but she went right to without the money, or maybe after she got blocked. I don't know. She went right to sending these pictures out. I think once you start sending the pictures out, you lose your chance of the blackmail.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's basically your bargaining chip, but
I did see this. I did see, because my mom watches a lot of that true crime kind of things. I remember once there was something about someone did this to, I guess, to a lot of young girls, and they end up being in some other country. But and this one girl, like, she ended up killing herself.
mhm.
And the thing is, it's like he first, I think he was getting some money off of her, but then like he just started sending, or maybe he just went straight up to send it to everybody. There is something about people who do this that just get off on ruining people's lives. Take this on
Mhm.
a serious note. Like, that's a
Well,
very strange thing to
it,
me.
it's horrible. I mean, that somebody. I mean, I don't know how people like this sleep at night, but I seen a thing on YouTube where this guy he's like a counter. He hacks the people who do these schemes and stuff. And like when I found out about this first, I thought, "Damn, Lexar, why'd you do that?" But then my second reaction was like, it kind of pissed me off. I'm like, this person should have to pay for what they did to be so dastardly. And there's a person on YouTube who kind of like he's like a crazy hacker, and he's hacked into like call centers in India where they've had these schemes going on, and like they're
Yeah.
stealing people's money. But I just
Yeah,
said
it's
I
one thing if you're motivated with money, but the motivation just to like, fuck somebody's life up. I don't get trying to steal someone's money either. But at least
mhm.
I can understand that on some level. But I
Well,
can't wrap my head around
I
someone who's trying to just ruin people's lives.
I think they were trying to get the money first, and then Lexar
Well,
didn't
what I'm
deliver,
talking
and
about,
then
this other thing that I saw, and Juju has it right too, is a girl drank bleach. I don't think there was even money involved. I think it just went right
oh,
to he he befriended her for like months, pretended to be like a teenager,
oh, okay,
got to
yeah,
know her, and then she finally like flashed him, and then he went right to sending it to pictures to everyone at her school. And then like
oh,
she
geez,
left, and then he kept it up for years, like would follow her under all her different, every time she'd return.
hmm,
And she even went to other schools, and she ended up, killing herself.
yeah,
And apparently he
yeah,
did this to a lot of women, a lot of young girls. And I don't know. But
someone like that is just insane. That
yeah.
dude, just no remorse, just keeps doing it, and just it's like they get off on having the power of making this person feel like crap. I mean, that's just awful, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the troll mentality, but it's one thing to troll someone and you get some enjoyment off of like their
Hmm,
discomfort, to
hmm,
a certain degree. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
But to get it, to want them to really like suffer and actually do harm to their actual life, and that, that's a whole other level. I don't understand. So,
I wasn't burying India. I've put over India before in the past, but
yeah, you've been wanting to go there.
yeah, yeah. But I'm replying to Vince Rudo's statement here, but uh, I'm just telling you about the video that I seen on YouTube, and if I have to look it up and send it to you, I will. But it is interesting because he turned their webcam on, and he was like showing the whole call center where they have scripts of what to say and like how to trap people into like giving them money, and it was pretty interesting.
So yeah, so they sent these pictures out. The count's still there, and Juju. I assume other
Hmm.
Headyverse members reported her too. I explained how to to Lexar how to do it, so I assume he did. I
Yeah.
did. Juju did. It's at least 3 people. I assume other people have done that too, but it's weird. It's weird because I've been not completely banned, but I've been suspended many times over the years, and sometimes for something that at least I can understand, but a lot of times for something for no, in my opinion, no reason,
Yeah.
but someone who's actually, and never for anything like this.
No. This is like really sadistic stuff, and this person is still allowed to prosper, and
Yeah,
trying to have other potential victims, you know?
yeah,
It's like
I'm sure he's not the first person they did this to. They were trying
I,
to do video calls with Kai, so apparently they, I'm sure it's other people.
I like Clinton's response here. He just says wrestling.
Right. Well,
This is wrestling.
I'm gonna get into something else a little because it's been a weird week with a lot of fans of ours. So I'll get into something there in a minute too. But anyway, so where we're at now is Lexard left Facebook. But I'm still in contact with him. I've been trying to get him to come in the show tonight. I understand if he doesn't want to, but I can't guarantee we'll never joke about this because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
We're going to joke about it, but from my heart, that's not a bit. I love Lexar. I know Intra's loves
Hmm.
Lexar. We consider him part of the show. Consider him a friend. And I do think he can learn some lessons from this, and for a few different things. Some of the stuff I won't get into right now, but we'll welcome him back. And this is this. I mean, I know it obviously
Hmm.
sucks, but he's fine. He's gonna be fine.
I genuinely feel bad for him, really. I
Right.
mean, I know it's just I don't know. It's just terrible that that happened. And like I was like I don't think I laughed or anything when I heard about it because it was just like, damn, I think he's probably not even going to call in anymore. And I like to
He'll be
talk to
back. He's
Alexa.
gonna be back. He'll be back on
Yeah.
Facebook too with a different name. But I just I understand not wanting to be in on this week.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. It's been a very taxing
And
week for him.
I asked the people, the Headyverse here. Look, I'm not going to say no jokes or no ribbon people because
Mhm.
I mean that wouldn't be right of me because that's part of my personality too. But I will ask everyone to be respectful. Don't go overboard with anything with Lexar.
Yeah.
Treat him with he's a buddy of ours. So if this happened to you, at least think maybe I don't want to be felt like worse than I already am.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I imagine he's pretty torn up about all this, but
So on a lighter note, Incher,
yeah.
when Clinton yelled wrestling here, there's been a long time fan of the show, and I've never had any ill words with him. The first time there was starting to be a little bit was with I mention he might be watching. I don't want anyone to attack him or anything, but there was he's really mad that I didn't that I didn't see anything. And it's not even I honestly didn't even want to say anything bad about Nick Gage after that episode. I just didn't think the episode was good. But then when I was like kind of people were pushing me saying how he's this great guy, or not even a great guy, but like we talked about
Wrestler.
this about like this wrestler could connect with the audience. Like they honestly were putting him. I'm not even being facetious. They're putting him over like the next Stone Cold, saying that he's a bigger star, has more star power than any wrestler in wrestling right now. And I just don't see that. But anyway, so he started getting mad about that. But again, if people like him, that's fine. I just don't think you can argue that he's like this second coming of Stone Cold. So from there, so he was asking people in the In Your Head group if they wanted to get together and watch this thing, Effie. He's a wrestler called Effie. So I guess he does like a live stream.
Oh,
Effie, I don't know.
I
said, who? Like I do on the show every time someone I don't know. It's a bit. I always say who. People say that all the time. People, I think people get a kick out of it when I say who. Anyway, so he gets
it can't be very cutting though whenever you're like enthusiastic about somebody and then you just look and go, who?
Well, if I said, Incher, do you want to go watch Effie? What would you say?
I'd say who?
Come on, be honest.
I don't know who that is, so I'd say who.
Yeah, you'd say who the fuck are you talking about? So anyway, so I was like, who? So he got mad, he got hot, and then he goes, not even just hot, he just starts attacking the show, starts attacking the guest of the show, Mario Mancini. And I was just like, well, I don't think this is this is probably even just a smart way of going about getting the other fans of In Your Head together to go watch this other thing. Effie might be great. He might be very entertaining. I watch a video. He's not, but he might have been. I don't know. So he's like, you care about 70s jobbers and losers like Mario Mancini and all this stuff. And I was like, well, I don't think this is a very good way to get us, the Headyverse, over to go watch this show. It'd be like, hey, you know what? This show that you guys are part of, if you fucking hate it, go watch this. I mean, it doesn't make much sense. So, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Long story, then he starts going on about, Mario Mancini, old wrestlers being on the show. And he said that the show has now become, it's just old wrestlers, off-color jokes, sodomy, and we don't talk about indie wrestling anymore. So he misses the days when we talked endlessly about indie wrestling and reviewed independent wrestling, never talked to old wrestlers, never talked about old wrestlers, never made off-color jokes, never made mention of Jake Junkyard Dog. He brought that up, JYD. Never mention of the WV. Never mention of sodomy and stuff. Sounds like, my God, does everyone else miss those days? And I thought, when were those days? When was In Your Head ever that?
Yeah, I don't recall those days, honestly, and I don't use drugs, and I have a pretty clear memory on a lot of on some things. I know I've been claimed that I've made up stuff before, but that's debatable. But on this one, 100%. I don't think we ever really been crazy about talking. I mean, if we went to an indies show, we might talk about it, but
there's been very few indie guests on the show. I mean, when we were doing guests weekly for the first good 10 or 12 years, it was primarily legends. It was Harley Race. It was Gary Hart, Paul Bear,
Magnum TA.
Yeah, if it wasn't a legend, we had TNA guests there for a little while. Maybe
Mr.
some
Terrific.
Ring of Honor guys. The indie guys you could probably count on two hands, I would say. I mean, we had Moxley on before he went to WWE. There's really just a handful of independent guys on the show. Yeah. And it's not even that I joke and stuff, but I just don't follow it, so I didn't go on my way to book them. So I don't know when this, and then I thought, well, maybe the weeks when Clinton and Juju were on, the show became something completely different. You guys were just like the independent, we're just, blasting all about the independence. And the show is really cleaned up, and you just, with some hardcore,
Now, when Dwayne would call in, he'd want to talk some indie wrestling, and then I'd get mad at him and yell at him, but me and Dwayne's good now.
So I couldn't fathom in my mind. I was like, how was he ever a fan of the show? In a weird way, at first I was like, what the fuck are we doing the show for? But in a weird way, it made me reinvigorated. I was like, well, fuck this. We never made the show that bullshit. And we never will.
Yeah.
Boom.
Are we not mentioning the person that this was?
Jay Pletz. I never had an issue with the man. Yeah. He sent me blueberry coffee. It's not. It was before, he's a big pothead. Maybe he's got some bad doobies. I don't know.
Yeah.
He left it. So then I posted another thing he's pissed about, that I was posting old interviews. That's because I found a bunch of interviews that were never released on a hard drive that I thought was broken. So I was putting up some interviews that I did at FanFest. Dangerous Danny Davis. There's a Mario Mancini one that's coming. Oddly enough, lots of cool people. Duke the Dumpster Drozy.
Yeah.
Then the last straw was me posting a Tugboat interview. He's like, I've had enough. I'm out of here. He quit the Headyverse and blocked me because I uploaded a Tugboat interview from 3 years ago that's never been released before.
You wouldn't there's nothing glaringly different in the interviews that would suggest that some time has passed in between the release of these videos. So it's I honestly knew that it was an older video that had never been released before, whenever I seen them.
And even if let's say it was released before, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like Joe Rogan, all the big podcast people, they put out clips of older shows.
Yeah, best of stuff.
Right. I have been clipping some older clips and putting up there. Maybe that's angered them too. I put up some New Jack clips. The idea is you watch a little clip of something and you're like, hey, that's cool. Let me go watch the whole show. Anyway, Tugboat was the last straw. The final straw was Tugboat. Toot toot. Tugboat's unfriended me, and I still like Tugboat.
Yeah.
He did actually snitch on some of the Headyverse members. But
he did.
Oh. Yeah, he beef. It was like, I don't know which one it was. It was either Titty Tuesday or one of those days. He reported it. He was I will not have any of this. It was filth. But I didn't lose my shit then, and I think there's more reason to lose my shit.
Yeah.
Maybe Pletz remembers that. He's standing up for Titty Tuesday. I don't know. Yeah, Tugboat is not having Titty Tuesdays. That's all I know.
And I really don't think indie wrestling, the podcast could be ran off of that, because the majority of people watch just televised stuff, and that's what they know about.
There's probably right now, I mean, there's been other points, but right now indie wrestling is big, but it's weird because the guys that were big in the indie wrestling are now in AEW primarily and NXT. So the indie guys are probably more popular now than ever, but they're on televised shows. They're on AEW and NXT. There's not too many of the big indie guys.
They're not indie guys anymore.
Aren't picked up. Yeah, like I guess there's Dan House. There's a few guys, Dan Housen and stuff, but Tattletale Tugboat, we've call them. It's either Thon Thursday or Titty Tuesday. I'm not sure. But the point is, beef, and myself, and I'm sure the other. We still deep down, we still like the Tugboat. He just, maybe he had a bad run-in with a bot or something. I don't know. We don't know the man's story.
Maybe.
But anyway, I still have some more. I'm going to put up the Mario Mancini interview from 3 years ago. That'll be our fourth Mario Mancini interview up there. I don't know what will happen then. Maybe he's going to send me death threats or something.
Well, it's nice that you found the hard drive and that you got access to the data so you can release it, because it'd be a shame for all that just to be totally.
Yeah, I thought it was gone for a while. I also found some Without Your Head stuff I thought was gone, so that's fun. I found the audio of an old interview. I regret never posted, but I'd lost the hard drive, so I still couldn't find the video of it. But it's God, what's the guy's name? He plays the cop, the black cop in Fright Night. He's in tons of movies.
Fright Night.
You know him if you'd see him. You probably wouldn't know him by name, but he's a character actor that's just in tons of stuff. I think
the first Fright Night.
Yeah.
Oh, when they're questioning
Art Evans.
Art Evans. Okay.
Like he's a guy he's one of them guys, that you would know if you'd see him, but you probably wouldn't know him by name. But anyway, I have an hour and 42-minute interview with him that we did at a horror movie convention. And I thought I lost it forever. And he's in Die Hard. Yeah, he's Die Hard 2, sorry. You'd know him if you'd see him in. He's in all kinds of stuff. But anyway, I was happy I found the audio for that.
Yeah. You could do some 8-bit animation.
I could do that. I was actually thinking about doing 8 bits of some of the guests when we put them up. Since there has been times I've been flagged for using pictures that the WWE owns. And
really?
Yeah. But if I put up, that's why if you go to the F4W site, they always use either pictures they used or someone took of the wrestlers, because you're not, most movies would never give a shit. But the WWE.
Not WWE.
Yeah. Did you see this thing? Here, we'll talk about some wrestling. To me, this is total bullshit. This is something they should be shameful of. The WWE, they're going to stop wrestlers signing their WWE names if they're no longer with the company. So let's say you're the Honky Tonk Man owns his name, so it's a bad example. I don't know, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, let's say, or someone who doesn't own their name. I don't know. They're at a convention. They can't sign Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Or Braun Strowman can't go to a convention and sign Braun Strowman. It's come on, guys. I mean, come on. How
are they ever going to know anyhow?
Yeah, I mean, how are you going to enforce this? The only people it's going to hurt are small conventions, small or big, and the wrestlers. If you're not paying the guy, I mean, come on, that's just being petty. Why this is $1 billion company, and they're going to worry about if a retired wrestler or just a fired wrestler is at a convention signing a picture of Erwin R. Shyster and signs at IRS. I mean, come on.
Yeah, really. That's pretty bad. It's just that's terrible.
Yeah, I've been to many horror conventions. That would be they'd come in and Kane Hodder can't sign any pictures of
Jason. Yeah. It's he can only sign Victor Crowley photos and half.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they won't stop signing the pictures, but
probably 75% of the line just gets out and walks away. Just they're oh, Well, that's what I came here for, the Victor Crowley autograph.
This is the definition of petty. It's just like it's real to me. It's just real scumbag stuff. They should be ashamed of themselves, especially for the older guys. Like a lot of those guys, that's how they make a living, is just going to conventions, and they're not like friggin' making millions. They're eking out a living. They're retired. They have some notoriety from being in WWE during the boom period, 80s or 90s. And now they go, they're they can't wrestle anymore. You can't wrestle when you're 50 and 60, 70 years old. And they're going to go to a convention and sign their name of the guy they used to be, and you're going to stop them. I mean, fuck that.
Yeah. It's almost like they want to just kill any career they may have outside of the WWE.
Yeah.
It's just
Like if you're not going to pay these guys forever, I mean, you just can't do this.
Yeah.
Why do it? What is the benefit to them?
Because it's a name that they came up with, but still, it's like, come on. He's the only person who can portray this character, and the fans would accept it because they've tried that in the past. And
It's one thing like you can't
failure.
make an action figure or something like that. Okay, I get it. I think the t-shirt stuff's a little lame, but whatever. If it's an old guy's, but okay, it's your property. But stopping him from signing the name, that's just too far.
That's pretty bad.
It's like you cannot sign Nails. You have to sign, Alan Washolitz or whatever the fuck that guy's name is.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jake Roberts, Jake the Snake, his real name's like Arlilius or something like that.
Right. And it's they own all the ECW names. Is Sabu not going to be able to sign Sabu? The Dudleys won't be able to say the Dudley boy.
Well,
have to sign the Bubba. Bully. I guess for him it works, but a lot of the people won't. What are you going to do? Like you wouldn't want a Sabu autograph and he signs it his real name.
Juju B says FKA Braun Strowman, like sign that, like formerly known as.
I know because the couple times I used to have to put these on banners, like when we'd have guests on, I'd have to put FKA. I even had to do this for the Pug, and nothing against the Pug. I really liked him, but it's like, come on, guys, you're that hard. You're that worried about a free podcast advertising the Pug that I can't say of the Pug on the show. I have to put FKA, the formerly known as the Pug. The guys that this came up with, I'm not even joking. It was the Pug, and it was Sir Mo and a couple other guys, but it's like, good Lord, I can't put Sir Mo on. I get to put formerly known as Sir Mo. I think I'd even do it. I was told that I was supposed to, but Terry Brunk. So I was going to sign Terry Brunk, but okay, that's just to me ludicrous if you had to put that on like a poster, but to actually, hey, you'd have to actually sign his name, formerly known as Braun Strowman. I mean, come on.
That's pretty lame.
No one's gonna want that on a 8x10
an autograph. Yeah.
A lot of these, some of the newer guys might ask for a lot, but if a lot of these older guys, that's the guys I think is shitty towards. An old retired guy is getting like $20 for an autograph, and they're gonna be like, oh.
Well, I heard Dave Meltzer saying maybe they let go of Braun Strowman, so he's kind of forced to come back at a lower rate.
Right.
Do you think
so? Okay, do I agree that he's not worth $1 million? Sure. But don't sign him to that contract then.
Yeah.
There's no benefit for the talent to sign a long-term contract if they can fire you at any time. The reason anyone, not just in wrestling, in sports, in radio, if you listen to old Opie and Anthony shows, they'd always talk about this. Opie would always, try to he would want to do the short-term contracts to get the bigger money. Anthony was all about just signing the long-term contracts because then you're guaranteed the money and they can't get rid of you unless you do something to breach the contract.
Yeah.
So if you sign a long-term contract, that's supposed to be beneficial to both parties because they have you then for this amount of time. You can't go somewhere else. And then if you blow up, they don't have to give you a raise. So if you're a younger guy, you usually like to sign a shorter-term contract because you're actually taking a risk on yourself. You're betting on yourself. If I really become big and important to the company or a football team or whatever it is, the radio channel, whatever it is, then when my contract is up, I can renegotiate for more money. And then the flip side of that is maybe if you've been around a little bit, you sign the longer term contract because in case you get hurt or you become stagnant or whatever it is, you're still guaranteed that money for that certain amount of time. But if the wrestlers in WWE every 90 days they could just cut them anyway, there's no benefit whatsoever to a wrestler in WWE signing a long-term contract.
Yeah.
None at all.
Well, Jujubee, she's got a breaking news in the chat room. It's kind of on the same topic that Samoa Joe is in an NXT right now. So perhaps they fired him to bring him back at a lower salary.
I mean, probably, but to me, this stuff's not. You sitting there talking about making record profits to all your shareholders, and then you fire people to renegotiate for some less money. I get Samoa Joe's not an active wrestler anymore, but still, that's the whole point of why you signed the long-term contract in case something happens to you.
Yeah, what good is the contract if it's not upheld by them? I could only see like if they breached it. That's
right. Because I know someone's like, oh, well, obviously that's a totally different story. If you do something against your contract, then they can fire you.
Yeah, wrestlers are just very mistreated by the WWE. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean, unless you're just somebody who has that clout, that superstar status, like a Stone Cold Steve Austin, they're just going to piss all over you.
Yeah, and they even did him, though, at one point. That's why he left.
Well, he walked out, and now he says, I don't know, they kind of humbled him and made him admit that he was wrong or something, but I don't think he was wrong, honestly. I mean,
I don't think so either. I mean, maybe the way he handled it, I guess. But
yeah,
because this comes up all the time. It came up in the Facebook group for some reason. Someone had started bringing up Bret Hart, and they were like, if you paid me enough money, you could pin me in my living room. Why did Bret Hart, wouldn't take the money? But it's like, money is not everything. And I'm perfectly honest, especially if you have so much money. You get to a point now, if you don't have money, obviously money is very important to you. But if you get to a point where, you're comfortable, how much more money wise is going to make any difference to you? But I honestly think wrestling would be better off if there were more people like Bret Hart who took their character seriously, who took the belt seriously, took the business seriously. And I'm not saying I don't have fun with silly stuff. I do, but if you had people that really took this stuff seriously, the wrestling business would be way better. If people actually, if they weren't just like, whatever you're paying me, I'll do whatever, any kind of stupid bullshit you write. If they actually looked at, so this is really stupid. I don't want to do this. And they'd be better off.
Yeah, if they cared about their character and didn't, accept everything. But I guess they've kind of made an environment where you can't really complain.
I'm a fan of Stone Cold, and he always brings that up, like, he went in and said this, but you can't do that today because there's a little bit of leeway now. You could go to AEW, but if you talk up, you're probably they're gonna treat probably even worse than fire you. They're gonna make you a total idiot on the show or not use you.
Yeah, I almost think they don't want people to get to that Stone Cold status because they don't want to be able to give away the power.
Yeah. Well, they also say people bring up the idea that if WWE is the draw of the show, it doesn't matter if stars go or leave because it's just the WWE. And I think there's something to that.
Yeah, I feel that way. I think that's how Vince McMahon would like it to be, is just WWE is why you're coming to the show.
Because he used to always build up. They would have like a couple top guys that were like above everybody else. Yeah. But you could see that they'd also be building the guys under that to possibly get to that level. Like when I was a kid, Hogan was by far up there, but they were also building Macho Man to get up there and the Warrior to get up there. Even to a little bit under that would be like Hacksaw Jim Duggan at points and Brutus Beefcake at a point and Jake the Snake Roberts. There was these guys that could potentially get up there. They would always be pushing people to levels like, they might get up there. But now I don't really follow the show nearly as much, but it seems like they have a couple guys that they like, and then everyone else is they're just this big mass of people that they think they could just well, we need a guy for pay-per-view this month. He's the
Yeah.
guy, and then he's back to just being, one of the other people the next week. And
Now, is it the state of wrestling why the ticket sales are so bad for these returning shows, or is it because of COVID has made people uninterested? Because the sports shows are doing fine, like
yeah,
basketball, and I hear they're doing fine, but
yeah, I don't think you
like the
can really
wrestling's
compare
having
the
trouble.
two so much because live actual sports is always a bigger draw. Like even though
Mhm.
WWE, has had big WrestleManias and stuff. Well, I mean, didn't they sell it to WrestleMania? But
I think they did,
it's never been it's never
but like they're
call it
going to.
the Super Bowl of wrestling, but it's never been the Super Bowl.
Mhm. But the ticket sales for like the returning SmackDown and Raw and stuff like that,
Right.
they haven't been so hot,
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't have an answer. It could
Yeah.
be the state of wrestling. It could be. I don't really think it would be the people not wanting to come back because I from what I see, people are really wanting to go back to things.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't sure how that would go. Although I'll be honest, when I've been to the movies a couple times and it's been desolate. There's no one in the theater.
Mhm.
So I guess it depends. It depends what it is. People are willing to go out there. Maybe it's the experience. Maybe they thought watching live sports at home is still not the same as being there, and they missed that.
Yeah.
And maybe all this stuff with HBO Max and stuff for some people, watching at home is still a good experience to watch a movie. So why go to the theater?
Or there could be just the group of fans who are huge Thunderdome marks and they just want to be at home watching through a screen while they're sitting there and they can't go to the bathroom.
Maybe.
They
I
can't
mean,
wear any clothing that the WWE doesn't like. They got to have all these rules.
I'll be honest. I'm flying out to Chicago in August to go see AEW. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be gone for a couple weeks actually. Matt's got all kind. We're going to Chicago and we're going to Milwaukee, so we're gonna go see like AEW in Chicago and then Milwaukee, I think, and then
Mhm.
we're gonna see the pay per view in Chicago again, and then I fly back
Ah,
home and go to AEW in Boston.
heck yeah. So you're going to be like the super fan.
Exactly. I'm gonna bring this laptop because all I need now to do the show. It would be nice to have two screens, but we don't need it. But I'm not gonna bring a screen with me. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna bring the laptop and this microphone, and I'm gonna still do live shows out in Chi-Town.
Oh, excellent.
So I know you
Yeah.
were looking forward to not hearing me for a couple weeks, but
No.
so I
Why,
apologize.
why would I ever be
I'm just
looking
kidding.
forward to that?
That's good. But maybe I'll get Matt to be on too. Maybe we can get
Oh,
Matt on
excellent.
here.
Excellent. That'll be good times.
Yeah. He offered Intra to come out, but Intra can't get off work. He also offered Troy, but he couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not everyone's crazy like me. It's gonna take 2 weeks out to go around to all the wrestling.
Wrestling. At least it's
Morning.
AEW though. At least he wasn't trying to get you to go to like Impact shows or something.
Right. I mean, if there's the not last time, the one time I don't know, maybe it was last time. It's been so long now since I've been out there. But the one time I went out there, we went to AEW. And then we also went to SmackDown and the NXT show and I think it was Survivor Series. So I did end up seeing a bunch of stuff and
Mhm.
Raw maybe too.
Well, that'll be cool having shows from the road.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it. I haven't been to a live wrestling for a couple
Mhm.
of years now.
We used to try to do that at the Fan Fest, but we never could get it. Like I think we did get some live streamed on
Right.
audio, but I don't know
Yeah.
if we
Yeah.
actually did do.
It's easier now with the video to be able to do it.
Oh yeah,
Remember we
for sure.
tried the one video, but I don't think we could get it to live stream.
Yeah, I think I just recorded it on a camcorder. So
Yeah, we did.
yeah.
It's up on the YouTube.
Oh, is it? Excellent.
Yeah, Scrap Iron Adam Pierce is there with us, I believe.
Oh yeah.
George South. At one point, Dan Severin walks in and looks at us while we're interviewing some goofball in like a baseball cap. I think he was trying to get our attention, and we were interviewing some goofy
It's
wrestling
like
fan.
Just hold on there, buddy. Just hold on there. We got some a good interview going on here.
So before we go to the call, the Zoomers intro, was there anything you want to talk about this Impact show?
Impact. I was all pumped up because I thought the whole pay per view was going to be done from Daly's place, the whole special show or whatever. But no, it was only the main event. I was like, oh,
Oh, so they didn't have like a crowd then either.
and yeah, they only had like I guess people who was around Daly's place. So they had for the Kenny Omega taking on Moose match. Well, Moose taking on Kenny Omega, and I was kind of let down by the show. I don't think there
Really?
was any big title changes or anything, and like I was so pumped up for Daly's place, thinking like, oh, they're gonna have like a live show, like this is gonna be pretty cool, and I was pretty let down. Yeah, not so hot.
I had thought about even getting it, to be honest, but I ended up not.
Well, this was just on Impact Plus, so
Oh,
you would
really? I
have
thought
just
it
had to
was. Oh,
buy the Impact Plus subscription, or they gave it to me for a few months for free because of they had some technical difficulties, but I'm not sure if they would charge you if you tried to sign up right now.
yeah, probably. That's all right. So, yeah, you were let down. That's too bad.
I was kind of let down, yeah. I thought I guess if I was expecting, like, if my expectations weren't so high, and it could have been just I just misunderstood because I know they brought Tony Khan out. I watched that episode, and they're talking about them doing the show at Daly's place, but I thought they meant the whole show. I could have just
Right.
misunderstood, but yeah, I was kind of let down. Not so hot, and I thought Moose
Did
looked.
Moose win the title back, or did he not?
He did not. No.
I didn't think.
Kenny did beat him, and then Sammy Callahan came out at the end and interrupted. And Don Callis was yelling at him like, "I can do anything I want," because he didn't want Sammy Callahan attacking Kenny Omega, and he fired him on the spot. He said, "You're fired." And Scott D'Amore, he looked like he was kind of like questioning Don Callis as they left, like, why'd you do that? Because they're kind of at odds right now. So that's the story. So a lot of people are saying Sammy Callahan may show up to AEW, but we'll see. He did set up the Eddie Edwards spot where he shattered his eyeball socket, and
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking like, wouldn't Eddie be like a little mad about that? That Kenny Omega is stealing his spot,
Right.
you know?
I saw
That's Eddie Edwards' spot.
you talk about Sammy. I saw his former partner Eric Cannon is going to be on Elevation, Dark Elevation.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, I always liked him, so hope he
It's been
does
a
well.
while since we heard from
Yeah,
Eric Cannon.
yeah, I'm friends with him on Facebook. He's got himself in really good shape, and he runs a wrestling school. So
Mhm.
I always liked him. So hope he does well.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the mohawk anymore.
Oh, he doesn't? Okay. I don't know if I'd recognize him now.
Yeah, he's much thinner.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Yeah, he looks good.
Well, that's great that he's on Elevation.
Mm-hmm. I saw I didn't watch the whole thing. I started watching NXT In Your House show.
I haven't seen any of it.
So Todd Pettingale was on. He looks just like he used to. That was weird. Looks the same as he did from like 1992. It's kind of funny. They had the whole place set up just like the old In Your House. I don't really get like why they did this. I don't know if there's a backstory, if they just thought, like, I guess just because it's old, people are nostalgic, but In Your House wasn't a success. That's why they stopped doing them. So it's
They've
kind of
done a
weird.
few In Your Houses though. Like,
Oh, they do? What's
yeah, this is
In
like
Your House?
probably the fifth or fourth one or something.
Oh, I didn't know that. I honestly haven't watched NXT in a couple years. I don't think so. I didn't know anybody besides
Yeah.
like the guys that just been there forever.
Did you see the team that has the most annoying name of any
No,
type?
I didn't watch the whole show.
The grizzled young veterans, and they say it in a very annoying way too.
I've heard that name, but yeah, I didn't see it. I did see.
I hate it when they say their name.
There was like an Asian female Dungeon of Doom, basically.
Yeah, that's the one girl that's The
There's like a
crazy
lampshade on
sensei
her
was,
head.
yeah, he was torturing her and stuff, like trying to make her resist pain and stuff, and just yeah.
Yeah, then
I'm
there
not.
was
That's
like,
not the best kid bit.
yeah, and she had like a katana,
Uh huh.
and then at the end of the match, there was like this ancient like female wizard like sitting up on a throne, and then she
Yeah, yeah.
choking the other woman.
I don't know where that storyline's going. They haven't really done much other than just that, so
Yeah,
it's kind of
kind of goofy. It was really goofy, not kind of goofy. It was very goofy.
yeah, yeah.
And so I just watched that, and then I started watching the tag match. Well, I did watch the ladder match, and I mean it was good, but so it was like this like super hillbilly dude who's like it was for the
For the
million
million
dollar
dollar.
championship.
That's Cameron Grimes.
Yeah,
That's Cameron Grimes. He
I
he he got all his money from the
Bitcoin.
GameStop or the GameStop,
Yeah, yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah, I got people got offended that I called him a hillbilly, but it wasn't an insult. He's literally playing a hillbilly. That's his character on the show.
Yeah,
Not
he has
like I'm
a really
saying he's
thick accent
like
and
I'm trying to be a dick. He was
yeah.
literally a hillbilly.
Hmm, hmm.
Be like if I was like Uncle Elmer's a hillbilly, people start getting mad at me.
But he's upset with Ted DiBiase and
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on.
was it L.A. Knight he
Yeah,
was
LA
in a
Knight.
match with
Which I remember, like I think you guys liked him. Used to be something else,
Eli Drake. Now he's L.A. Knight.
right?
You like him. You'll like him when he gets there.
I remember him being one of the standouts on Power when I watched it.
Yeah, yeah.
No, the match was very good. But
Hmm,
what I noticed though, NXT has way more is way more cartoony than it used to be. He used to be like the
hmm.
more of the serious wrestling to be different than WWE, but it's very much like WWE, just with it's like smaller scale. It's
Well,
very corny and lots of silly gimmicks.
that's why I like Johnny Gargano. He's doing like a lot of corny stuff on the show, and I do get a kick out of some of it. But that's one of the reasons I picked him as like um, the most overrated, like
Uh-huh.
him and Tommaso, because it's like they used to have this really hard feud, and like they did like this really good stuff, and now it's just they're kind of just goofy, and I don't know why they're doing that.
Yeah, I saw. I was always like Tommaso Ciampa, and he's still in awesome shape. When I saw it, I was just like, man, it's kind of sad. He's just basically just here forever. And I don't think it's even worth bringing him up to the other shows. You might as well. I mean,
Because we see what happens whenever they do come up. They just,
yeah.
I mean, look at Ricochet. Who cares
Yeah,
about
he's
Ricochet
like
right
as
now?
the one time I watched a little bit of Raw and he came out like as a surprise or was that on the pay-per-view or I don't know. He came out as a surprise opponent for somebody for the title, Sheamus.
Uh
It's like he's used as like almost a job guy. Why would anyone be excited for
mhm.
this? And then he just beat him. It's like
Like I think back to watching Lucha Underground and thinking how much I love Prince Puma, and
uh-huh.
now it's like I watch WWE and I'm just like I could not care.
I remember he was a guy, and there's been lots of guys like this. So many people said he can't miss. And they're like, well, WWE they don't push everyone well from NXT, but this is one that that they can't miss on. But he's been under nothing.
Yeah, they missed,
Yeah.
missed big time.
Uh, but it didn't really keep my attention. A lot of that's just because I haven't watched a show for a long time, so I didn't know the people. But
Hmm.
it was very goofy. But I'm not against some goofiness in wrestling either. So it seemed like a good show. What I watched, I might watch the rest of it.
Hmm. Hmm. I guess like the only like kind of serious stuff that is like the main feuds on the show would be the girls stuff, the women wrestlers. The Rodriguez, what's her name? Gonzalez, or I forget her name. Raquel Gonzalez. She's kind of the serious part, but like everything else is kind of goofy now that you bring it up. Cause I like I know they got that one thing going on with Dexter Loomis where he's like trying to be that one girl's
Yeah, I saw
boyfriend.
this
And
on Facebook, and there was like they had like a love triangle.
yeah, I haven't seen any shows since they brought in the other girl, but like I know what's her name? Johnny Gargano's girl. Oh, I know her name. Shit. But she's trying to sway the other girl from going out with Dexter Loomis, and it's just I don't know. It's not doing much for me.
All right. I'm sorry. I got a message here from Shutter about something.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Talk about Dark Side of the Ring.
Dark Side of the Ring.
This is
Excellent
a
episode.
request from Vince Rudo.
Excellent episode. I think it's one of the this whole season's been really good. I think
Mm-hmm.
primarily maybe one I didn't like. I forget, but um,
The Nick
oh yeah,
Gage
I
one.
wasn't big on the Nick Gage. I didn't even hate it. I just didn't. I just think they missed the boat on it.
Yeah.
This one was it's very sad, which I started to see that there's kind of a backlash against Dark Side of the Ring, saying because I even heard Disco say this and stuff that they should talk more like about positive things, but it's like the name of the show is Dark Side of the Ring. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't. It's like Dark Side of the Ring and just talk about something great, but I mean, I get it. I get it. That's not what you want to watch, but
Mm-hmm.
that is the whole basis of the show. So you can't really like knock that part of the show. And I knew this would be depressing.
Yeah. This one you knew it was going to be a harsh story.
Yeah, not a good guy. A lot of times I'll say, the person will seem like a good person. That just bad things happen to them, which is sad.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, even before, I think the injuries made him worse. But I don't think he was. I think he always had something about him. He was not a good man.
Candice LeRae is Bruce
Okay.
Briscoe fills me in on the chat room.
Yeah,
So
I feel that Dynamite Kid was not a good person, and then the stuff that happened to him made him worse. But I don't think he was a good guy.
mm-hmm.
I mean, the only people that really liked one guy was seemed cool, but the other guy was like his one buddy, Dan Spivey. I mean, he looked like a monster. I was like, holy shit, this is his buddy, and he looks like he's gonna kill you or something. There's like raging vein in his head.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know what the deal was with that. It's just, I guess it's just that was that's the unfortunate side of having to shave your head whenever your hair falls out. Like I for one don't have any like raging veins in my
I
head.
do have depending like how pumped I am, I get
Yeah,
yeah.
but like he just has one that's just perpetually there. So
Yeah, you can't see it so much at the moment. But
mm-hmm. Better be careful. The doctors might want to pull one out. Like,
more than this is my Pride Month hat.
okay, cool.
Yeah, if people don't know, I had 15 veins removed out of the left leg and 11 veins removed out of the right leg.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you feeling good?
Oh yeah, it's very
Good.
bruised,
Uh huh.
but it feels good.
Excellent.
Back to my
Excellent.
normal walks.
Glad you're
You don't see my
recovering well.
anymore. Doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird. So you went in there. Is it early morning? And then I remember being wheeled down for the surgery, but then I have no memory until I woke up. It was just a couple hours. They told me they would give me stuff that would make me drowsy, which I thought meant I would be awake during the surgery, but it totally put me out. But then I woke up like in 2 hours. Usually, if you're out for surgery, it's like hours and hours. But it woke up not
Mm-hmm.
much right because they told me that surgery itself would take an hour and a half. So I must
Yeah.
have woke up about a half hour after the surgery. Interesting. But I have no memory of the surgery or actually even getting the gas or whatever they gave me.
Yeah. I remember getting my gallbladder taken out, and I remember they put the mask on me, and they're like, "Yeah, you'll probably be out here in a little bit." I was like, "This ain't doing nothing." And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, it's just like, bam! I was like, "Whoa!" And then I was out.
Yeah.
And then I woke up, and I was like, "Oh, I'm kind of hurting." But
Just understood
the di-
they just real quick for the surgery is I had surgery a couple months ago, where from all the stuff that's gone, I had a lot of internal trauma which caused the varicose veins, and then especially in the left leg, but apparently they were also on the right leg. Which when I went in, I thought I was only getting the left leg done, but then when they looked at stuff, they decided to do some on the right. And so a few months ago, they killed the one vein. They took a laser and they put it up the vein from like down under my knee up into my groin, and then they pulled it down with a laser. They put like this tube up there and they pulled it down with a laser, which sealed the vein up. And the idea was if you cut off this main vein, all the other veins that came off of it would be like limbs off a tree and they just fall. But that did not happen at all. Nothing happened whatsoever. So then they had to actually remove them with little hooks. So I have all these cuts all over my leg where they cut them, and then they pulled them out with veins with the hooks. I just took off a couple right now, but I'm not supposed to take these off. These they're like they're not band-aids, they're stitches, but like butterfly band-aids, whatever you call them.
Yeah.
Butterfly stitches. So they're just I'm supposed to just leave them on until they fall off on their own. But
Okay.
so underneath is this little nicks. But my whole leg was all covered with them.
Yeah.
So the first day I took Tylenol because I was trying not to take any actual painkillers, and then after that I haven't taken anything, so I'm doing pretty good. I do keep it wrapped up when I go for my walk, just because where they cut a lot out on the back of my left leg, it's a little sore if I walk a lot. So if I wrap it up and keep it tight, it feels good. And now I have to wear compression socks. So they were cutting in and out of YouTube. Is that just for him or is that for everybody? Because from what I see, where it says excellent connection.
Yeah, maybe just his connection. I mean, sorry, Bruce, but if anybody else tells us, then it could be us.
Yeah.
But
there's nothing I can really do about it if there is, anyway.
Yeah, really. The Dynamite Kid episode, though, I thought the ending to it was probably one of the better parts when Mick Foley kind of summed it up as like somebody who's really tortured and like he can be like, or like to be really good at something, like maybe they forget about other aspects of their lives, and just
it's
really,
a tragic tale.
Yeah.
Guy really gave his whole life to wrestling and then it ended quick.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the part about him becoming like a fighter, like in like underground fighting. That's pretty sad.
I think I read about that. I think it was in the book. I think it might have been.
Well, maybe it was.
Because it's been a while since I've read it, but
the sad life for the guy. I mean, he just leaves his family and never returns.
Yeah. And his one daughter that did go and see him in England did seem pretty happy that she did.
Yeah.
At least she had closure.
When you watch Bumps, like he had no regard whatsoever. Like he would just like hang his back over the rail and like, I mean, it was just crazy. I remember watching him as a kid, but
yeah, you just didn't think about like what he was really doing.
I mean, I didn't. Those Japanese men, I saw them, but like they didn't really resonate with me. But I remember, the British Bulldogs.
It's an excellent book, though. If anybody wants to, if you can even get it nowadays, I don't know. But
I agree with Golgo too. Dynamite Dave Meltzer was one of the highlights of that.
He's very good for the documentary.
Yep.
I think Alvarez gets jealous that they asked Dave to do these, and
he shouldn't, because I don't think there would be Brian Alvarez if Meltzer wasn't around. I think he really glommed onto him and rode his coattails to start.
But if Dave was gone, do you think there would be like that? You think they would get Alvarez to fill that spot?
My gut says no, but I mean it's possible. I don't think he has a history. I don't think he knows much about history.
Yeah.
I mean,
you even said
I was
like
really taken back by him when it came out, when he started watching old Nitros and saying he's watching them for the first time. Like, dude, you wrote the Death of WCW book, and like then he write a history of WCW book where it was just he just rewrote stuff out of the Observer. It's like you never watched a show when it was on, and you're writing books about how it died and stuff. Like,
yeah. That's pretty bad. I mean, I did have a huge gap in my WCW viewing.
But you didn't write a book about it.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm not writing books about it. So. But that was just the thought that popped in my head. But yes, Dave is very interesting on these documentaries. So.
I don't know who you get to fill in for Dave.
Yeah.
if
He
Dave's
would
not,
be hard to replace, honestly. Like,
I don't know. Is someone from the Torch or something? I don't know. Like Mitchell, Bruce
I mean,
Mitchell.
I just don't think anybody has the. No,
Whatever you
nobody's got
say,
him on.
whatever you think about Dave's current take on wrestling, if you agree or don't agree or whatever,
One day for
his
another
his
day you
historic
share.
memory and kind of knowledge of wrestling history, I think is I want to say unmatched because you've got like Cornetta's up there and stuff, but it's very valuable.
Like Mike Johnson does have some tenure with ECW, him and Buck
Right.
Woodward,
He's
but
probably he's going to be
and
probably about 20 years younger than Dave, I think. But
yeah,
I don't know. I think he would be valuable for like 90s and beyond. I don't know how much. I don't know. Maybe he is, but I don't know how much he would add when they talk about stuff from the 70s and 80s
yeah, yeah.
and before, because Dave's a historian on even stuff before his time. I think
Hmm.
a lot of the historic relevance of wrestling.
The A&E people, when they get a wrestling historian, I'm like, and I've never even heard of him. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Like, I don't, if I don't know who you are, then I'm not believing what you're saying.
Yeah, they have some very questionable people on their shows. I think.
Hmm. I did watch the treasure hunting show, and I got a question because I did Sonny Ono bring up the selling the mask, the Andre mask,
When we had him on,
yeah, the machine mask. Did he bring that up?
I don't think so.
But he had they were looking for the machine mask, and Sonny Ono had one, so they had Paul White, the Big Show, and Mark Henry going around with the main dude on the show. I forget his name. He's on NXT right now, but and Mark Henry and Big Show, they just got pissed at Sonny Ono because they came all the way out there, and he was like, "Well, you want to take a shot at the mask because I got other bidders who are going to be bidding on the mask." So he had like people on the internet like uh throwing in bids for the mask, and like they were so pissed about it afterwards. They're like, because they lost actually.
Yeah.
They said they'd only go to 5 grand, and so they lost out on the mask.
What do you think of this show? I've not watched a lot of it. Every time I watch it, it seems very like very set up, not very
It is very hokey and set up, but
I'm not
there's
saying it's not entertaining. When I watch, actually I do find entertaining, but it's clearly not like this is you're just there filming this stuff
there's
happening.
there's some episodes that are better than others. Like I didn't expect much from the Brutus Beefcake and Greg the Hammer Valentine show, but
Uh-huh.
when I watched it, I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, this was actually a pretty good show. Just watching Brutus and Greg the Hammer kind of interact with one another. Like I did enjoy it. Um, this current one, I kind of like Mark Henry just kept getting upset and crying about like Andre the Giant, and it's like I like besides being a fan, I don't know why he was like getting so upset about Andre the Giant. But Big Show just said like he just gets really
It's his
emotional.
dad.
Well, Big Show, that's supposed to be Big Show. That's supposed to be his dad.
Mm.
But like Mark Henry had like
Oh,
his
Mark Henry.
passport.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Henry had his
Oh, yeah,
passport.
that's really weird. Like I don't know what the connection would be.
He's like, I'm just getting upset by looking at this. And then he starts crying and he has to go off. So I get he says he has some connection with the no, the Andre the Giant, but
Bunch of bullshit.
he said he picked him up at his show
I say Mark
like when
Henry,
he was a
man
kid.
up.
Is that what
Man
you're
up.
telling him to do?
Don't be a bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
But this is a 2 hour episode. I think they could have knocked it down to 1 hour because they kind
It's always good to keep them, wanting less.
of they stretched it out a little long, I think. But it was all right. The next episode is going to be with Ric Flair, and it's going to be a 2 hour episode.
Ooh,
So
that's
they're going to look for some old robes. I guess they got Charlotte with him. So looking at robes and trying to get them back. So
that's cool.
That should be an interesting episode.
Yeah.
But the I think the documentaries have ran out. I think that's why they got the 2-hour episodes. So
I see. All right. You want to bring these people in?
Most definitely. I wonder what they got to talk about.
All right.
Who could it be?
Who could it be knocking at my door? Go away. Don't you invade my home. Can't you see that it's late at night? And I'm not feeling right. Who can it be?
Toronto Stevie.
Stevie!
There he is, Austin 316.
Hello there,
I'm like,
everybody.
I'm just gonna have to go whoa, because I got the Jurassic Park one tonight. It's not a Jurassic Express, but whatever.
There was a Jurassic Park game at the casino last night, but I didn't see it till we were leaving.
Oh, really?
They had we went to not a new casino, but we don't normally go here. But, oh my God, they had so many games.
Oh man.
Very fun. It's fun. I went with my mom and my brother, and then we find 3 games together and we play together. We take turns, and it's fun. The time also doesn't go by as fast, because if I go by myself, you go play. I'll be honest, a lot of times I get lucky stuff. But then if you get on a bad streak and you're by yourself, the money will fly. You're losing all this money. You know what I'm saying? But if you're playing by yourself with other people, then the time goes by slower. We believe in Lexar. Very well said. Lexar, 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 Lexon, Lexoff. All right. Are we going to be seeing any pictures of Steven popping up?
Absolutely not.
No? Okay.
All right. I'm going to go and get a refill because I'm all out of coffee. And this is not a bit because they're not paying me, but this is one of my favorite purchases. It's ceramic, but it gets steel inside, or ceramic inside, steel on the outside. And it's basically like a thermos that keeps your coffee very hot, but it's like a coffee cup. So I can just have it on my desk instead of the big thermos, fill it up with coffee, keeps it hot for up to 12 hours. They should pay me because I'll talk about it all the time because I love it. But it's honestly one of my favorite purchases. I love it. But I did drink all my coffee. So I'm going to go get something else to drink because I'm very thirsty.
Alrighty.
I'm a thirsty man. So
Is
you
it
guys
poop
talk
coffee?
and I'll be right back.
It's not the poop coffee, is it?
No.
Oh, I didn't figure.
Be right back.
Shoot. Well, anyways, Vic, it's good to see you on the program. I'm glad you're here supporting Lexar. But
new enter,
yeah.
Steven.
Hello there.
Toronto Stevie.
Yes.
Do you watch the treasure hunting show?
I watched a lot of wrestling this weekend, but not the treasure hunting show.
Okay.
No.
It was 2 hours long. A lot of Mark Henry crying. A lot of it.
Well, big, that's Big Show spot. He hasn't cried yet on AEW.
Big Show only got choked up once whenever Mark Henry was like, he went off and started crying, and like he tried to explain why Mark Henry was crying, and then he started crying. He was like, and so it's just like everybody's crying over Andre the Giant, except me. I'm not crying over Andre the Giant. Maybe I'll break down on this show and start crying about Andre the Giant. No, I'm good. But anyways, so it's an alright show. So what all wrestling did you watch, Steven?
So I watched SmackDown.
Okay,
I did watch Against All Odds. Did watch Takeover in Your House, Monday Night Raw.
I didn't watch
Dark Side of the Ring, the Dynamite Kid.
That one. Yeah.
A lot of wrestling themed stuff this week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the fact. Oh, and AEW Dynamite. So it looks like, well, it's unlikely that Jungle Boy's gonna gonna beat Kenny Omega for the belt, but I do hope they at least
have a good match.
Make him look like $1 million in that match against Omega, and try and elevate him, and he finally spoke briefly, one sentence.
Has he not spoke on the show? I thought like he might have had
for the life of me, if he did, I can't remember if he ever
did. I can't remember either. Yeah. So I don't know if if Jungle Boy's ever spoke either. So has Jungle Boy ever spoke on AEW?
Pretty sure.
Like before last week?
Pretty sure.
Okay. Huh. But
I must have missed it then. But
I'm looking forward to the match. I think it will be a good one.
I am too. I think Jungle Boy's a really good wrestler. I agree with Jim Ross. I would change the name. I don't think Jungle Boy's a great name.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to push him as a single talent. Jungle Jack Evans works for me. Or whatever, not Jack Evans, but Jungle Jack Perry. That works.
Jungle Jack Perry. Luke Perry's son.
Jack Evans.
Why not?
He comes out. He's like, that'd be cool if Jungle Jack Evans just took the name and just.
You remember Jungle Jim Steele back in WCW?
No, I don't know that one.
And then he had a short run in ECW, came in, and they just like beat the shit out of him. Like they were, making fun of like this goofy WCW gimmick, and they just beat him up.
Kind of like they did the Public Enemy whenever they went to WCW.
Right. So more WWE. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, was it WWE that they beat him up? What? Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. They had a pretty good run in WCW.
Yeah.
Brain says Stephen Butler fell for the porn bot, but they thought he'd sent a photo from an elephant, meaning he's got a big wiener intro.
No, I delete all those. I'm very careful about who I accept now.
Yeah, really.
Oh, I thought you meant you delete all your pictures of your trunk.
I never do any of that nonsense.
Whoa, what the hell are you taking them for? All right.
Mm. So it's like you just like took Lexar to a casino and you're just like, oh, this is kind of fun. You might win a little bit of money here. And he's just like, and he just starts throwing all his money at the table. And he's drinking everything that they bring him, and he's just losing all control. He's just gone, And that's kind of like Lexar's visit to Facebook.
He's like, dick pic. Yeah, I get you. I will say, Lexar, love Lexar. We believe in the Lexar, but there's a little weird thing. I saw these pictures. He's literally, he's got the CBS Sports sign behind him. It's going to be hard for me to ever see him in front of the CBS Sports sign again and not think.
You think he has to retire it?
I know what's been going on.
Yeah. I won't say any names, but I have had people, because the pictures were not sent to me. I guess because I was not friends with him, but right. I have had offers to see them, and I have declined. Do not need, I much like Hulk Hogan, I do not need to see Lexar's little
Thurness.
Lexar. Yeah. Do not need to see it.
Right. All right. This is not a knock on Lexar, but I do want to say this. I feel like I should say this. This is a good lesson for people out there not to send things to, but I actually, if it's someone you're in a relationship with, honestly, whatever you guys are into, if it gets leaked, that's a totally different thing. Or if someone puts your picture out there that you sent to that you had something going with, that's a terrible thing. But if it's between two people and they know what's going on, that's their own business. But, be careful what you send to people out there that you don't know.
Bad business to do it, period, Jack.
Yeah, just don't do it.
I don't necessarily. I'm not gonna actually say that. I do think if it's two adults and you're guys or girls, or a guy and a girl, and you're in a relationship, you do whatever you want to do with each other. Because then if it gets leaked out, I mean, that's the same thing as if someone comes in your house and steals something. So you should never have anything nice in your house in case someone steals it.
But if things go bad, let me tell you a story about my best friend in college. She and her boyfriend did that. And he jilted her at the altar like 4 days before their wedding. So she went and got poster-sized pictures of them made and posted them.
Yeah, I mean, that's shit behavior, but that's a shit person. So, I mean, the idea that you shouldn't do anything in your life in case you run into someone who's shitty, I mean, they probably would have done something terrible to him regardless.
So,
didn't have
Jack,
those pictures or not.
Just keep yourself, under control, and don't be make nice with me, basically, or we're going to have a billboard.
There's no pictures of me out there with my face also in the picture. They could just be of anyone.
That Guys and Fries session did go on a little bit longer than you ever confessed to, and yeah.
Man.
So just watch out.
After that, intro really started to look like Brian Knobs, if you catch my drift. That even made intro laugh.
No, that's not true. Let me get.
Whoa! You didn't get flagged here.
I'll prove it.
Do you think that'll ever be a thing on the internet? People just sending like guys sending butthole pictures out instead of the dick pics, it'd be butthole pics.
I don't know. Maybe it's probably already a thing. Honestly,
it probably is. Everything I think would be really stupid or something is already.
It's already been done.
Tired. Yeah, that's old hat. We did that back in junior high. That's right, John. JJ, people will send nudes. Get with the times. I mean, me and JJ, we're hip cats. We know the dealio. Young hip cats. All right. Wrestling. What's going on?
Wrestling. I watched AEW from last week, Steven. But the NXT show and Raw, I did not watch.
I am an AEW fan, but to say, I think this week on AEW, they realized that people aren't really watching these Friday night shows, and they didn't put on a great show. Everyone worked hard on the show, but I kind of think they just put out matches that people weren't really that excited.
The one before this, I thought, was probably the worst AEW show I think I've seen. Was it that one?
I thought it was last week, to be honest. I didn't think it was terrible by any means, but I really felt like they. Okay, there's one thing I did not. All right, if you're going to, I don't think you should do this in the first place, unless he's going to win the title. But you can't build up Evil Uno saying that he's going after the title to win it for Brody Lee, who's really dead. This guy's actually dead, died young, while an active member of the company. And then have his real son, who really lost his father, at ringside, cheering on Evil Uno to win the title for his fallen father, and then he loses.
Mm-hmm.
You look, just don't do that. Maybe you call me whatever you want to call me, but to me, that's not needed on a wrestling show.
Yeah.
People used to talk about when the Bulldog said he was devoting this title win that he's going to have, I think, Shawn Michaels for the European title, to his sister who's having cancer, and they rightfully so attacked WWE for not going through with the Bulldog winning the belt.
Mm-hmm.
This is the exact same thing. You have this guy who's saying, I'm winning this for my friend who's dead, and then you have his son out there who's lost his father, and he still loses? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, they didn't think that one through.
They did it the other week too with one of number 10, I think. I assume they're going to eventually have someone from the Dark Order win the title.
Is that like the Adam Page? Maybe he joins the Dark Order and then he wins? Or
to me, if you do it with Adam Page, it doesn't really work, because it would just be like we're adding him to this group so he wins it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, if you did it, you'd have to do it with the short guy. He's hurt right now, but at least with him, he's been with the Dark Order and he has a history with the Dark Order, so it would make sense. And I also think you could actually do something with him because he was super over with the crowd. But
yeah,
if you don't have like I wouldn't do this anyway, but I don't think using the real death of a guy and his real kid is a great thing to. I know some people are defending saying, well, it made you think that Evil Uno might win the title. And it's like, yeah, but you're using a guy's real death.
Yeah, you don't need to go
and
there.
his son for false finish to get a pop for false finish in a wrestling match. Pretty messed up.
Yeah. Evil Uno, he's got himself in better shape though. That's for sure.
I'm a fan of Evil Uno. I like him.
I like him too. I wish he would have more spots on the show.
I do too. They used him more before he earned it. Well, not earned it, but I think he really come into the character and found out what it was all about. And he's a great promo guy. I think he's a good wrestler. He grew on me. He has like certain mannerisms that really work. I think he has a presence, he has a weird charisma to him in the ring. A lot of the moves, his movements and stuff. I like him. I think you could do something with him.
Yeah.
Probably more so in the tag team, but I don't know. I definitely have him talk more for the group.
Yeah. I don't think Stu Grayson's even cut a promo. I mean, maybe he doesn't want to talk at all.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm not
know.
sure if he might have said something, but nothing.
I don't know if I've ever heard him talk. So maybe the man had a cat and the cat got his tongue.
Maybe.
It's possible.
-1, don't have him. People can get mad at me all they want. I don't want to see him on the show.
Yeah. I think if they did my idea that I came up with, where he transforms kind of like the Hulk, like I think that would be good. That was 100%
idea from me many times.
That was 100% my idea. Don't listen to anybody who tells you it wasn't my.
John Brown says Stu Grayson's English is not great. I didn't even know he wasn't American.
Oh, that's news to me. I didn't know he didn't speak English. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Maybe that's why we haven't heard from him. No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I'd say he's,
you never know.
I mean, anybody who,
I'm just kidding.
Who teams up with Evil Uno, he's got to be a bright man. Because Evil Uno is.
I gotta look this up now. Where's Stu Grayson from?
I don't know. I'm curious myself, so we need to know. Gotta know, Vic. We gotta know.
Canadian.
He's Canadian.
Well, that explains the Canadian. He speaks Canadian. Got that flip top head. Blah.
Canadian professional wrestler.
Well, what does he speak? Is he French Canadian then?
Yeah, I guess that's like the only other language in Canada, isn't it? Is it French and English? Like, is there any other languages they speak in Canada? I'm sure there are, but I just don't know.
Well, he's from Quebec.
So he must be French Canadian. I thought I don't know these things. So when you're a French Canadian, you're not taught both English and French?
Well, if you grow up entirely in Quebec, you probably speak French as your first language, and then you got to learn English. Yeah.
And he said, "Fuck that! I'm not learning English. I'm sticking with French.
Yeah, because
I'm working at an American company.
Yeah,
speaking your language."
I guess Pat Patterson had he didn't speak English when he came to the States either, though, did he? Pat Patterson.
No, not really. I mean,
like
back in those days, how did you survive though? Like nowadays you got like Google Translate and everything else, but like back then, like you couldn't like tell anybody what you wanted to eat or anything. You just throw you some stuff and you eat it. I mean, like,
here's an old picture of Stu Grayson. He looks very TFO AW there. Total friend of the week. He's a big friend to Evil Uno. He was tagging with them on the Indies, and then they went up to AEW and formed the Dark Order.
So do
Total
you
friend
think?
of the week.
So is Evil Uno? Does he speak French? Like, can he talk to Stu
I think he
Grayson?
just speaks whatever he wants because he's evil.
Does he just speak evil to him?
He does. They speak the international language of evil.
It's like they just look at each other, and they're just the evil minds are melding together, and they're like, "Yes, evil," and they do evil.
Man.
Hmm.
Golga
Yeah,
says
had a full head of hair. How old was he in that? Looked like he was rocking some hair like Vic over there.
yeah,
Like,
it's
is he
true.
shaving his head and he has a full head of hair? Because
Might have started losing when he
if
started.
he's doing that, by God, he's on my shit list.
Maybe when he started juicing up.
Oh, well,
Allegedly.
yeah, I heard that kind of.
Oh no, I see a picture here. He does. I could see it starting to lose a little bit.
Okay. He's off my list then. But by God, if you got a full head of hair, don't shave your
You
head.
can see it starting to get a little thin there.
Yeah, okay.
Not bad, but you're starting to be.
Okay. I can see a little thinness going on. Yeah.
All right. So what's going? What else? What did I interrupt?
John Brown wants to know in the chat room, what do you guys think they're going to do with Samoa Joe and NXT? He's going to interview some people.
He's gonna be the Mean Gene of NXT.
And when I think Samoa Joe, I'm thinking, by God, I want to see this man interview some people. Thank you.
Does he ever brought back the face paint where he painted the dick on his face, the tribal dick?
Oh.
He painted the Lexar.
So many dumb ideas.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but that's what I was thinking. Oh, freaking Samoa Joe and that stupid face paint.
That was your boy Russo's idea, I think.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
He had some winning ideas. It's like, I know what to make this guy better. You start painting a tribal dick on your face. And then this other guy gives this great finisher. What he really needs is he needs to shit himself.
He really needs to
get him
poop
out.
himself.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that done wonders for his career.
Why'd
Why'd you do that, Petey? Why didn't you just fucking walk? Just
See,
say
if you had the
no.
Bret, see, that's what I'm saying. People bashing Bret Hart. Think about this. If more people are like that, we wouldn't have to see nonsense like that. If people just like, well, I'm not doing this shit, they're like, okay, we'll do something else.
Anyways,
Jonathan Jackson says they're getting paid to do nothing. I don't see why people complain about not wrestling while under contract. Well, the thing is, well, there's probably a couple things here. You might get paid, but a lot of their payments in WWE are built around incentives where, you get your base salary, but a lot of times that's pretty low, but you actually get paid, do the house. They don't have house shows anymore, but a lot of stuff that you get paid for, they don't do anymore. Beyond that though, I think, you have a certain, time that you can wrestle before before your body breaks down, before you get too old. And, if you're an athlete, or even as an athlete, if you're an entertainer, I think you have something in you that you want to do what you love doing while you can. So even though you might be getting paid, the idea is like, I'm not actually out there doing what I want to do while I still can before I can't do it anymore, is very hurtful. I mean, that's why people keep wrestling a lot of times until they're old. It's not always for the money. It's because the love they have, and also, kind of the addiction they have to be in front of the crowd or whatever that is. But I think all athletes and performers have that. The idea, I don't think many people, I know some people do, but I don't think many performers and wrestlers, especially wrestlers that in the current day, are just motivated by money. Like that's all the bottom line. I think they want to perform. That's why a lot of guys want to leave WWE, and there's been people who leave WWE so they could go, or people who asked to go to NXT because they had the freedom to wrestle a certain style there, or want to leave WWE and go to AEW or go to New Japan because they can wrestle the style they want to. Even as someone, Daniel Bryan has things he wants to do, not motivated by the money to go wrestle in Mexico or Japan, but something he wanted to do, why he can still do it. I understand that.
Galgo13 in the chat room says, I almost did not watch the Bret Hart documentary on A&E, but I thought it was pretty good. I had no idea Bret liked to draw cartoons.
Really? I thought that was pretty well known. They've
Yeah.
shown his cartoons for years on TV.
I didn't know it until Troy had his book, and like Bret was really looking it over, and yeah, but
I thought it was pretty well known.
Whenever we were getting the autographs and all that, and Bret really seemed interested in some of Troy's drawings there. The Flea, as he's known on this show. But yeah. Steven, did you see that Moose, the crazy dive that he did into like the crowd, and he just like landed on the floor during the Against All Odds, the match with Kenny Omega?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'll say this about that whole show, really. Yeah, the fact that I was kind of expecting there to be some audience there for it, and the fact that they were performing in a very dark and empty, it seemed like an empty Daly's place.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going all out. I mean, hey, they made an effort. I mean, it was a good match, but the fact that it was, you could hear people talking. When you can hear everybody talking, it's kind of like disappointing, I guess.
Yeah, it was disappointing for me too, because I thought they were going to have like actual fans in the crowd, but this just looked like the crew members was out there watching it or something. But it was a pretty big letdown for me. But
now the show at the other location, the rest of the show, and I can't even remember the name of it.
Just like the Impact.
The Impact Zone. Is that what it's?
It might be the Impact Zone, yeah. But I probably would have preferred they just did the match in there.
Yeah.
Because it just broke it up and it didn't seem right. But I guess Omega was working and they couldn't like film it, or he couldn't get back to filming or something. I don't know. That's just my prediction of what happened there. But yeah, I don't know.
But I know, Jack, you said something about Impact, that you don't know anybody on Impact. A lot. I felt that way watching the show too. I mean, I recognized like Big Cass and Eric Young and Gallows and Anderson.
Part of me hates to say that because obviously if I don't watch something, I'm probably not going to know the people, and it shouldn't be a negative on them. But so when you do watch the show for the first time, like when I watch it when Kenny Omega was on, that's their chance to interest me, and they didn't do that.
Yeah.
So was there anybody that you didn't know and you watch and like, wow, I'd actually like to see more of them? I mean, when the first time I watched ECW, trying to think, the very first match I saw was Raven versus Tommy Dreamer. I knew Tommy Dreamer from IWCCW, but I had like no connection to him. And I don't know if I knew Raven was, Scotty Flamingo at the time, but he's totally different from what I remembered him. But they totally captured me. And there's lots of, the majority of those people on that show, I had no, I knew like Terry Funk, obviously, and Shane Douglas. But again, he was totally different from any Shane Douglas I ever saw. But majority of the people on there I'd never seen before. But they all captured my attention. So your idea, that's fine if you have a bunch of people I don't know, but they have to, the first time I see them, they have to do something to interest me. And I can't really think of anybody that really interested me I will say the biggest problem was that whole show with no crowd. This was, months ago, with no crowd and very terrible commentary, very lifeless commentary, really killed any interest that I might have had in anything.
And Matt Stryker was doing the commentary, but now it's back to Josh Matthews. So I don't know what happened to Matt Stryker. Like maybe he's working for somebody else now or something. I don't know. But
Yeah, all the Impact guys and girls. Also, a lot of women's matches on that show. I see there's a big difference between Impact and other shows. There's a lot of women, more women's
Is
matches.
that much different? Seems like there's a lot of women on all the shows.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they all seemed like, yeah, they didn't stand out. They were. It is all very generic, like all the matches. Like you talk about Monday Night Raw wrestling matches being forgettable. Unfortunately, that's what I'd have to say about this show.
Well, yeah, this show wasn't a very good showcase, but
Man, I can't believe Intra's Impact let him down. He's usually this huge Impact mark.
it did let me down. And there was no title changes or anything. It was just kind of like, I guess I was expecting more, and that's not what I didn't get anything.
And also a very badly booked number one contenders match that ended in a no contest.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that sounds like WWE booking to me, but I mean, if you're going to have a number one contenders match, have a decisive winner. I mean, it's kind of basic, but
yeah.
But Friday night, did you guys watch SmackDown?
I've seen SmackDown.
Watched it.
So did you notice when Bailey did her ding dong hello show that when she came through that door, the on-screen graphic said WWE champion Brock Lesnar?
Really?
I didn't catch that. No.
I just saw that and I just kind of did a double take.
Yeah, I wonder how they goofed on that one. Like,
see, I have on here in Canada, we have Sportsnet where you can watch it on demand and you can go back and rewatch it over and over again.
mm-hmm.
So I went back a couple of times and I thought, well, did I see that? And sure enough, it came on the graphic, and they took it off right away. But I saw
what's it even still doing there? How long has Brock been gone?
They just keep it there.
But aren't they rumoring that they're bringing him back now? Or
Yeah, but they
supposedly
just
it's an unconfirmed rumor.
Room there.
Yeah.
You think they keep it there and Vince goes and just looks at it and sobs?
So it looks like Rey Mysterio is the next challenger for Roman Reigns, and I think he's going to get destroyed.
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I care nothing about that match.
I like Roman Reigns. It's one of the few things I like in WWE. I don't care about Rey Mysterio going for the title again.
And I want to point something out on SmackDown that they did right, is that there was a spot where he picked up Dominic and threw him over the top rope.
Good.
Yep.
And they didn't show him hit.
Mm-hmm.
They showed like the app. There was a lot of flack on AEW, the thing with Jericho, because they showed him hit and it looked so fake.
Right.
They did it right on SmackDown. You saw him throw him over, and the next thing he's laying out there, and his back could be broken, and his dad's down there, and they did that very well.
Well, I hope he's okay, but I also I tell WWE, really sell that. Never have him on the show again.
Well, don't have him out there for a few weeks at least. I mean, don't have him come walking out there this week. And
oh yeah, that'd be
One of
have Ray come out and cut a promo, an emotional promo about his son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dominic's really going to change Jack one of these days. He's going to be all about the Dominic.
Well, I hope so. I mean,
Dominic Mysterio.
I hope he does. I hope, he becomes something. That'd be cool. I'm not against changing my mind and admitting it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when that became a negative thing. I'm not saying you're saying it is, but I'm saying there are people I see, like, if you change your mind at some point, like it's some kind of negative thing.
It does seem like it's kind of ingrained into people that you're not allowed to change your mind now.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Or I'll have him change my mind is what I'm saying. If he there's been people I've watched I didn't like, and they improve or do something, and then I like them.
Mm-hmm. Braun Strowman was a big example of that.
Yeah, and then he kind of regressed a little bit, but yeah, it's really weird. That's one guy. There's this whole thing. For one thing, people they post like a picture making fun of AEW fans, but I'll be totally honest. In my opinion, the people who hate AEW are way more triggered by someone who enjoys AEW than an AEW fan is by someone who knocks the program.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me like anytime AEW is brought up, like someone likes it or whatever, there's like a flock of people. They're like, "It's so shit. You're a fucking loser." All this stuff. Like they hate to see anyone enjoy the show. And in my experience, there's way more of that than reverse. I'm not saying there's none of that in reverse, but for me, it's way the other way. But so when AEW started, people were like, "Oh, it's all these guys I don't know. It's these it's the indie darlings, like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, and then these other guys that shouldn't be on TV." So they start bringing some people from WWE, and it's like, it's all old WWE guys. It's like they have to get talent somewhere. It's either going to be guys that you probably haven't seen before, or it's going to be guys that you have seen before. There's no in between. It's either guys you've seen before or guys you've not seen before. So it's going to be a mix of some guys that you're not familiar with. If you watch Indies or New Japan, maybe you've seen them. And then there's also going to be some guys that are probably new to everybody. And then there's going to be some guys that you know from other things.
Yeah.
That's just the way it's going to be. I take it on a person by person thing. I see nothing wrong with bringing in people that's been on TV. If you could do something with them, you think they've been misused or whatever. I'll be honest, the Mark Henry thing, I've never been a Mark Henry fan. I'm probably more curious what happens with him than with Christian or Big Show. And I used to like Christian, but he is nothing to me on AEW. He's not interesting in the least. Mark Henry, I'm kind of interested what happens. I don't know if he had a match. I don't even know like how he'd work in AEW because he's really a different style than anybody there. I'm kind of curious. Yeah. But the point was Braun Strowman, that one's a weird one to me because he seems like a guy that people who don't like WWE, they think this is why I don't like WWE because they push a big guy like this who's not necessarily that mobile, even though I honestly think he is pretty athletic for that big of a guy. But I think he kind of represents what people who don't like WWE, what they think of WWE. So do you bring him in? Because on the flip side of that, he is a star. He was really over. He used to sell a lot of merchandise. One thing I'd really disagree with Cornette, he always says like someone like that you don't want to bring in because he can't work with anybody on the card. I completely disagree with that because I think he stands out more in AEW because they have a smaller roster. So he would even come off as a giant because he's such a big guy. Whereas in WWE, they would match him up with other big guys. So actually takes away from him being such a big guy because you match up with other big guys. There's not the contrast there. But if he's working with guys that are a lot smaller, he comes off as a giant. So I see pluses, but I also think there's big minuses there. So I don't know if you bring in a Braun Strowman or not.
I think you got to bring him in because it's like he was used in WWE and it's kind of like the Rusev. Like he was getting really over at times and then they always pull him back. So I think it'd be a good pickup for AEW.
I think the difference is the people that were behind Rusev are tend to be guys that would be AEW fans, like that audience, where the people that were behind Braun probably weren't. But at the same time, if you think about it that way, you might get some of that audience to watch your show.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's worth a shot. I'm not against the idea.
Jonathan Jackson says he should debut as Kip Sabian's best friend.
Man, he's really fallen out of favor. I never got why they I don't really see a lot in Kip Sabian. And I thought his girlfriend had more charisma. And then I didn't get the Rusev's just has been on fire since they split him up, but it
Mhm.
seems like he was a guy they were really high on, and then did he do something? I wonder what happened where he's just like gone. He's not.
Maybe he really did get married.
Yeah, but you can't ever wrestle again if you get married.
Well, I mean, it's only been 2 or 3 weeks, hasn't it?
It's been like months, hasn't it?
I don't think it's been months, has it?
Been a while.
It might have been. I don't know.
So he gets married. He's just.
I don't know if he got married or not. I was just guessing. I mean, because Rusev beat him up pretty bad for some,
Yeah, that's been quite a while ago.
or Miro. We should call him Miro now, I guess.
Yeah.
But he beat him up, and I don't know. He got hurt, Jonathan Jackson says.
Oh, he did.
Okay.
He hurt his wiener having all that sex intro on his
What?
wedding night.
Oh my goodness.
Because they waited till marriage.
Okay.
Well, I'm trying to find out when he's married. Anybody know?
I don't know. Well, on the show he was married a couple months ago, but I don't know. Did they actually get married?
I think so.
Beats me.
Let's see. In April 2020, they were engaged.
29.
On the February 3rd episode, they married. So yeah, that's been 4
married.
months, Incher.
Yeah. Okay. I'll accept that as the answer.
Yeah, that's a little more than a couple weeks. I understand time flies, especially during this period, but
Mm-hmm.
so I won't berate you.
Well, I was just enjoying the love that they were sharing, and just thinking, oh my goodness, my heart's just filled up with so much joy that time just flew by. I didn't even realize.
What's your favorite couple in wrestling? Married couple?
My favorite married couple in wrestling? Probably what's
Uncle Elmer back in the day?
was he married to a pig?
No, geez, man, it's very offensive. He was not married to
I thought that was the angle. Like he had like a pig.
No, he
as his
married a
wife.
woman on the show. They didn't.
He married a woman on the show. You sure it wasn't a pig?
No, it was a fine young lady.
What was her name?
It got huge ratings too. I don't know.
It would have been better if it was a pig.
Man, this is what you think of hillbillies. You guys think I'm anti-hillbilly. Interest like, oh, them hillbillies are married to pigs. Literal pigs. I don't mean just.
I think more people would know it today if he was out there with a pig and he was trying to get married. So
they made a documentary about that, didn't they?
I mean, it is wrestling. We've done like some pretty controversial things. I mean,
yeah, why not a guy that's married to a pig?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I always thought they should do an updated because I was gonna say Vic, not Vic, but Vince McMahon always like had this obsession, it seemed, with hillbillies. He always loved the hillbillies, but they should have had like some evil like hillbillies.
Yeah.
Not just fun-loving goofballs, but like Deliverance style hillbillies.
Wasn't the Wyatt family supposed to do that?
I guess so.
They
In a way.
were kind of, yeah.
Good point.
But in answer to your question, I didn't want to say just a Macho Man and Elizabeth because I figured that was pretty atypical. And then I thought of something else, and I said I probably shouldn't say that. So now I was kind of just stumped. So I had nothing.
Linda,
Stephanie and Triple H. There you go. They're lovely together.
They are okay.
They seem like they share a huge amount of love for one another.
They hunt wrestling trophies together.
Yeah.
Looking for Iron Sheik's dumbbells and stuff. Jonathan Jackson thought the Godwins were evil. I guess they were, but they weren't like dastardly. They were like more. They were still kind of fun loving. They just threw slop on people. I mean, like dark stuff.
They threw slop on people?
Yeah.
They had a bucket of slop and they threw it at people?
Yeah, you don't remember this?
How did I not know about this?
Are you serious?
I've never watched I think that was during the time I wasn't really paying any attention.
Are you going to go back and watch this now, or are you going to be like the huge?
I'm going to write a book on it first, and then I'm going to go and watch.
Do you think? No, seriously. Do you think that's a good gimmick? Throwing buckets of slop on people?
It seems pretty awesome. I think. How would you feel though if some hillbilly just came along and was like, "Hey boy, look at here," and just threw a big slop bucket in your face?
It happened to me at the airport in West Virginia, in Huntington.
It did?
Yeah.
Oh,
that was a security guard.
Hey, look here, boy. I know you just got off the plane and all, but welcome to West Virginia.
Do you ever see anyone carrying slop, like a slop bucket?
All the time. Yeah. I just think, I hope they don't hit me with that slop
Jason
bucket.
carried one around with him in Kentucky.
Did he?
Yeah, he used it both as slop and he'd also as a spittoon when he's chewing his tobacco.
This does just sound like the best thing ever is that they're throwing slop buckets on people. Maybe it's the hillbilly part of me.
This has really made your day that you discovered.
And I need to see it now. I need to go on the network and see.
Yeah, they slop Sonny.
He slop Sonny. Yeah, that was my favorite slop. Was Sonny.
Yep. Oh my goodness.
Man. All right.
Slop buckets.
Could you, I'm just throwing this out there, could you hire legit mutants or deformed wrestlers and then bring them in as these backwoods inbred hillbillies as like a kid? So they're like real life.
No, you're not getting away with that today. Just stop. No.
That'd be sweet.
Not happening. No.
So like you find a guy that like, he's got a stub arm or one leg. I don't know, something. He's got elephant man disease. I don't know, something.
Elephant man disease.
Yeah, elephantitis. And you're just like, it's unfortunate, but let's make your unfortunate situation into a positive. We're going to bring you in, as these inbred mutant hillbillies that terrorize the WWE.
Yeah.
Win-win.
13, he says, speaking of deliverance, R.I.P. Ned Beatty.
Yeah, I know, Ned Beatty.
Ned Beatty, 83 years old.
Yeah, I was a big fan.
83.
Still a big fan of Ned Beatty. Rest in peace.
I looked up my cat's age, like the human to cat years, and she's 76 years old. And
living large.
Yeah.
What's the ratio of human to
7 years or 6 years?
15, I think, as long as she's been here, and then she was. So I looked it up, and it was like 76 or something like that. So let's see. I looked it up earlier.
My cat, when I had Faye, she was over 20.
Oh, really?
That's
There's a little chart that it brought up here. Let's see. Yeah. 13 is 68, 14 is 72, 15 is 76, and 16 is 80. So, if it will focus. Where?
okay. Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
We've got one. If he makes it to September, will be 18. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because when I had Faye and Aldo, I had them into the show, and both of them I found Faye when I was in the 7th grade, and I got Aldo when I was in the 8th grade, and he was actually pre-owned, so he was I don't know how old he was. And then I had him up until a few years into the show. I don't know if it was 2008 or something.
Dog, yeah, I remember Aldo.
And the cat passed away the year before Aldo. But so I found him. I got them both in. When would that have been?
So 18 would be 88.
89 or something? Jeez.
88. Huh.
88 years old.
This is why he sleeps all the time.
Yeah.
All right. We got the questions here. If anyone wants to chime in with any other wrestling related topics, whatever, just feel free. Dobbs wants to know how big his cock.
Big.
Whoa.
Oh, actually, yeah, we probably. I don't know.
It is. So it could just be cock in general. I mean, cock's just a 4-letter word, so it's not too big.
Yeah.
Depends how big you write it, I guess. But as I say, or it's been said, it's not the size, it's how you use it. Robert Budzinski. What's no? Ever poop in the woods? I'm not actually.
No.
I don't
I
think I ever
peed
have.
many times. I'm a big mark for public urination. Well, not public, but outside urination, not public urination, I guess. That's a weird deal.
I did go camping, and I think they had places where you could go and poop.
Was it
I
just like
think.
behind the bush there, boy?
No, I don't think I ever pooped in the woods.
You say like bathroom.
I think they had a bathroom.
Yeah, I never
at
had to.
these campgrounds.
I don't think that would be a good time. What do you wipe with leaves or you bring toilet paper with
unless you brought your own toilet paper. Yeah,
it? Sound like a good time. Dorian Doc Batal. You guys have cicadas.
cicadas.
Cincaras.
I think I'd seen one flying earlier, but I don't think they're in full bloom yet. Are they? I've seen them.
I don't have
before.
any here.
I haven't seen any yet, but I know that they're about to come back. So it's a little creepy. Like they can they'll be like gone for like 15 years and
17, I believe.
Is it 17?
It's like the creeper in
Mm-hmm.
the movie made by the pedophile.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Jeepers Creepers. Clint Williams, what's the deal with Lexar?
He doesn't know.
We went over it earlier. Just rewind the show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But we stand by the Lexar. Hope everything turns out well for him.
Mm-hmm.
Dawes also did Incher see it.
No. Did not.
Lived it.
What'd you say?
I said you lived it.
I'm going to throw a bucket of slop on you.
What if we stand up in unison with Lexar and we all just whip it out? But like, see, it's not a big deal.
What if we don't?
I guess Vic wins.
Yeah, let's not.
I was gonna do it, Lexar, but voted down. Jason Mitten, does Jack have any guilt for this has come up with messages to me? Does Jack have any guilt for convincing Lexar over the course of months to join Facebook? Absolutely no. I love Lexar, but his decisions were his own. It's not like I said join Facebook and send out pics. That whatever he did there, that's definitely on his own. So no. And I thought I love Lexar, but that's the lesson I hope he has learned. And I'd hope nothing, comes of it.
Are you surprised it went so far though?
Like, oh yeah.
Like
I'm surprised he did it. But.
You thought it would just be like a normal, like inviting somebody.
I thought
to
he would
Facebook.
join. I mean, I thought maybe you'd get kicked off just because there's like people go to Facebook jail, as they say a lot and stuff like that. But I didn't expect like something like this to happen.
Yeah.
Did the person Jack Flatbed scan his junk to ever blackmail him for it? No. And another thing was, so back in the day before I had a digital camera, I used the flatbed scanner.
His face wasn't in that picture.
Exactly, Vic. So if they said, hey, I'm going to send this out to everybody, unless you do this for me, like, whatever. It's just the penis. Nobody knows who. Jason Mitten, do you think you'll get more wrestling questions or Lexar Facebook scandal questions tonight? The latter. The latter. What are you do? What are you getting? You getting the? That's exactly what it looked like. Are you getting it ready?
The flatbed scanner.
And it's cold.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And she
Well,
wanted,
glass-
in not necessarily in action, but in ready to be in action. And it's hard to stay ready on a cold flatbed scanner. Catch my drift.
Mhm.
Jonathan Jackson wants to know, why doesn't In Your Head have any new content? I think this is new right here.
Yeah, we got some new stuff.
He's just messing. JJ wants to know, who are your top 2 wrestlers of all time, and why is it Nick Cage and Effie?
You know, it's just I just learned of Effie's existence tonight, but I think I love him.
Effie goes without question.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Stone Cold here, so it might be Effie, Stone Cold, Nick Cage, but
Is that their God-given name, Effie?
yes,
Oh.
yeah. We buy the E.
Okay.
The parents were E.
Uh-huh.
And they had F. Like, what do we name the baby? Like, the name of the.
Legit favorite wrestlers of all time: Stone Cold and Ricky Steamboat.
Mine would be Rowdy Roddy Piper and Mick Foley.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Punk's up there.
I like Mr. Perfect. And
I always like Bret Hart too. People shitting on him lately, but I like Bret Hart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mr. Perfect and Hulk Hogan. What the hell?
I was not a Hogan fan as a child. I did like the Hollywood Hogan. That's fine. I know I was in the minority at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like Piper. I always wanted Piper to be him. Anyone else, Vic? Do you have your top favorite wrestlers of all time?
Well, grew up in Memphis, so the King would have to be one of them, and I'd say Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Ric Flair's up there.
Four answers and 8 different people. Wow.
Pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Jonathan Jackson, any advice for those new to social media? I say get over to Facebook, join facebook.com/group/IYH Wrestling, and just let it all hang out.
No.
Figuratively.
Oh.
Jason Mitten, if someone had nude pics of you and was threatening to send them to your entire family and friends, what would you do? I don't know. I think people who know me really wouldn't really care that much.
Yeah, it's like
I personally wouldn't care that much.
It's like I wouldn't want like to pay the person, because it's like you don't feel like they deserve it, but you don't necessarily want that photo to be sent to them. But
and if they have it, the payment will never stop.
Yeah, so I probably wouldn't pay them.
Do you have anyone on your Facebook? Like, I don't think your mom or anything's on your Facebook, so they're probably not.
No. Yeah, there are people on my Facebook I wouldn't necessarily want seeing my,
I mean, I'm not dying for everyone to see it, but it wouldn't matter that much to me either. I understand I'm a weird dude. So. Hello.
Now we got to change the topic.
Happy graduation. I think you graduated.
Yeah.
Talking about Lexar.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Right.
Oh, it's very unfortunate, but
I think it's a good memory.
not for him. I don't think he's looked fondly on this.
Cautionary tale.
Yeah, it is a cautionary tale.
I mean, I'll be honest, I got a kick out of it, but I want, I don't want Lexar to feel too bad. I say Lexar, just embrace it, have fun with it. When you can't change it, you can't take it back.
That's all gonna blow over.
That's what I agree.
And laugh in a couple of years.
Right.
Yeah.
Jay Beefington, how much to book Lexar on Cameo?
He could become like the biggest star from the show,
Yeah.
just like he is the Lexar.
Yeah, he should look into that. Start up a Cameo.
Maybe he'll be like a male dancer. You never know. Like maybe he'll like come and see the Lexar. I mean, he already has like his dance moves in place and everything. I mean,
Brian Matthew Clutter. Have there been any reports of a Facebook blackmail scam artist getting their house burned down?
that is true. I don't know if they
You
realize.
picked a bad person to
he is a vengeful person. So, I mean, if he knew who this person was, I mean, that would be some serious stuff. Yeah.
I mean, he burned someone's house down, and what did they do? Nothing.
Nothing this bad.
Anastasio Theodosiadis. Will you finally admit I'm 79% correct on my wrestling predictions? Nope.
No.
Will you admit that I have great taste in everything?
Well, he did tell me that the Star Trek The Next Generation, which is a pinball machine that I own, is one of his favorites. So he does have good taste there. Most definitely.
You never heard of the show before?
I actually got the pin before I actually started watching the show, but then I said I might as well start watching the show because I got the pinball machine. And I'm glad I did because I do.
Oh, yeah, it's great. It's one of the first things, might be the first thing I binge watched years ago. Because I'd never watched it. So watch it. Will you admit I was not a crackhead?
No. I don't think he is. No, I just think
maybe not now, but he definitely was. But I'm glad. Hopefully he's gotten over the crack.
I don't think he was, but I mean, I think he's just crazy.
Well, that's even worse if it wasn't like if his behavior isn't brought on by the crack.
I don't think being like legitimately crazy is worse than being a crackhead.
I think it is because you can potentially stop doing crack.
Yeah, but still,
man, I'm gonna stop being crazy.
I don't know, but crack kind of makes you crazy. So
yeah, but then you're like, oh, I know why I'm crazy. It's this crack pipe.
But
this isn't a crack pipe.
It's not self-inflicted though. If you're just crazy, you were just born that way.
Maybe he might have been born with an addictive personality that brought him to the crack, and then he could seek help to get off the crack and then not be crazy. Well, you also admit that I'm near the crest of the wave that is the chill Illuminati. I don't even know what that is. The chill Illuminati? I don't know. If it gets him to shut up, well, I'll admit it. Sure, whatever.
Sounds kind of crazy.
Yeah, he's doing the crack again. He also wants to know what wrestling stars under 35 have the best big dick energy. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know.
Yeah, he makes no sense to me.
If Lexar is the star of the In Your Head podcast, what does that say about Jack and Incher?
We're just old news, I guess. I mean, what can you say?
Sometimes you just can't compete.
Don't try to stifle his shooting star.
Just because a movie isn't as good as The Godfather doesn't mean it's not a good movie. Just because we're not Lexar doesn't mean we're nobodies. Jason Mitten, what's your favorite Ryan Reynolds movie?
My favorite Ryan Reynolds movie would be Detective Pikachu.
Who? Is that a real movie?
Pikachu.
Is that real?
Yeah, well,
I'm googling him because I very vaguely know who he is, but
Canadian.
that is Ryan Reynolds, right?
Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
The Deadpool guy, right?
yeah, I don't like those movies.
You don't like Deadpool? He's
I
in
like-
Blade Trinity, isn't he?
Yeah, he's also, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like any of this guy's movies.
I like Green Lantern until the ending. I thought it was a decent movie.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, he's from British Columbia. He's Canadian.
I'm looking. I haven't seen anything I like yet.
And he was married to Scarlett Johansson.
It was.
Was. Past
Yeah.
tense.
Mm-hmm.
The hell? I say nothing.
You can't even think of like one movie you can say.
He was in the remake of Amityville Horror. I didn't like that either.
Oh, he's got smoking hot wife.
Damn,
Dan
this-
Wilder. I don't care if he has a hot wife. What the fuck's that got to do with me?
This damn Jonathan Jackson in the chat room. He says Incher enjoys Detective Pikachu while eating chicken nuggets like a child.
Well, he's got
Do
a
I
point.
eat like a child?
Oh, bring him back bad memories.
Oh, and Lexar thought he was shamed. Oh.
What if I started sending out pictures of you with a mouth full of chicken nuggets?
That's just a normal visit to McDonald's. It's just like, oh,
I guess that Buried movie, it wasn't great, but I'll say Buried.
buried? What's that one about?
It's like Buried Alive.
That's no Detective Pikachu.
Jason Mitten once an Effie.
I don't know.
I saw a video of him wrestling like a little girl, like a 10-year-old girl.
Idiot.
Did not
That's
look too good.
No, really?
Dobbs Dean Maya. How would Incher react if people outside his house started screaming, "The British are coming, the British are coming"? Would he grab his gat and wet up some Brits? That's probably more likely to happen where I am, though. That's where it happened originally.
Yeah, like why is this being thrown at me? I don't get this. No, nothing. I guess I don't know. We'd say, "What's the matter with you, boy? Why are you screaming about Brits? Go get the bucket of slop. We're gonna have to slop some people here."
Dobbs wants to know who in the Headyverse has small dick energy. What's small dick energy? What does that mean? I gotta look these things up.
I don't know. I wish the Headyverse could come up with some more appropriate questions for this moment.
I don't know what this stuff means. I'm like 45. I don't know what this stuff means.
Okay,
Yeah.
Let's see here.
basically, small dick energy is like, okay, in Alabama, where it's like from where we're from, small dick energy is a boy that drives a lifted truck that is like,
I see where you're going here. So it's like you're trying to compensate.
you're trying to compensate for your small penis.
I see. Oh, that's interesting.
Hmm.
No,
What?
I'm kidding.
I'll slop you.
Yeah, that's not slop.
Oh, geez.
I don't know. I don't want to answer this question. I have ideas, but Anastasio Theodosius. Why do I have to? I probably should just skip his. How much for a night with Lexar? He's priceless. Jason Mitten. Who from the Headyverse would you have predicted would get blackmailed over nudes before Lexar took the title?
Swax.
Yeah, I could see that. Swax.
I'll say Swax, yeah.
Maybe Jujubee. Not that I think you'd send him out, but
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really. Nobody's really coming to my mind. I thought William Morey, but I don't think
he'd
he
probably
would
be
care.
just be like roll. He'd probably
Yeah.
think it's funny.
Yeah, he'd be like, yeah, just that laugh of his. And
I tried to look him up, but I don't think he's on Facebook anymore. I was wondering what happened to him the other day.
Yeah, Probably nothing good, honestly.
I was thinking a couple people I don't want to mention in case anything's happened, but there's like a couple people I looked up and like some of them hadn't posted anything for months. And I don't know. Jason Mitten, do you think Lexar will be canceled? Canceled from what? From In Your Head? No.
I think we're beyond that point. I don't. I mean,
if we were going to cancel him, would have been for a long time ago, not for this.
Yeah, he's kind of really like rose up in the Headyverse because like I remember you used to just get mad at him and hang up on his calls, and now you're like, stay for the whole show, Lexar.
I like Lexar. I like Lexar. I don't know if I should say he's a good guy, but I like Lexar. No, I'm just kidding. Tyler Stevens, has Lexar himself ever been Lexar'd? I think now he has, in a roundabout way.
In a figurative sense.
Right. Which is another lesson to be learned. Now he should see how others, may feel about being things happening to them. Rome Williams, do you guys pay like Hannibal or do you pay like Sean Oliver? We pay like neither because we pay nada.
Did you see the Goon interview that he did?
Mm-hmm.
Tyler sent it to me, and whoa, he just like the ending. He's just like, "Oh, you're a worthless drunk."
People thought like he was justified. I mean, he showed up in not a great condition. I'll give him that. I agree with that. I don't think he should have acted like that to him. I don't think he asked very good questions. He's asked kind of markish stuff, and honestly, even just calling him the Goon is like that was like what, a few months run. The guy Wild Bill Irwin had been around for decades and had runs like everywhere. I personally see the last question he asked, why he'd just be like, I don't even have an answer to this. Like, what it was, I mean, basically being a jobber to The Undertaker and Superstars, was this your biggest match at WWE? It's like, it wasn't a competitive match. He was a job guy. Like, why would this be a big match for him?
Yeah.
He'd already did. It wasn't, and he wasn't just starting out in wrestling. Like, oh, it's cool, I'm wrestling The Undertaker. Undertaker really wasn't The Undertaker. I mean, he was The Undertaker, but it wasn't like, the star we think of today. And he was on his way down in wrestling. So why would this be a big match to him? I get why he like, I don't really have an answer to this, but I don't think that was a good way to act to them.
I don't think he should have even put the interview out, and he probably shouldn't have blown up at him, and he probably could have rescheduled it to where he could have,
Yeah, I definitely
to come back.
I don't think he should have showed up for the interview like that. I agree with that, but I do think he should have handled it better. Jason Mitten, do you like superhero movies? I mean, it's kind of a broad question. Honestly, I like any kind of movie if I like it. I know it's a silly answer, but it just depends if the movie.
There's good.
I mean, if I just say I like all horror movies, I would think, it's kind of a dumb thing. I mean, I like a movie if it's good.
There's good superhero movies, and then there's bad ones. So, just you got to watch it and see which ones you like.
Right. I mean, there's no like genre. I would say that would be weird. I've seen people say that, like horror people, like they love all horror movies, but I mean, that would be kind of dumb. I think there's probably any genre. There's some movies I like in it.
Yeah.
Jason Mitten, is Lexar the most legendary member of the Headyverse, and how can we induct him into the Hall of Fame again?
I'd say he's pretty legendary now. So,
I think he probably has a couple Headies coming up in the next Heady.
If he was in like a faction or something, we could like put him in again.
Yeah, maybe it's something you could think about, starting the Lexar World Order.
Yeah.
We could sell shirts too. I was going to do an artist rendition, but I don't think that's.
That would be good.
How much mustard does Incher put on his watermelons?
How much mustard do I put on my watermelon?
Yeah, this is a new thing. People putting mustard on watermelon.
Oh, I didn't even know about this. I don't eat watermelon, and
I don't
If
like.
I did, I don't think I'd put mustard on it.
No, it doesn't sound good. Were you gonna say something, Hope?
Oh, it's been all over TikTok. Like people putting watermelon on, or no, mustard on watermelon.
Uh,
And
Doesn't sound good.
it kind of sounds weird.
well,
The thing is, though, like salt does go good with sweet stuff. So I mean, there's a possibility. I have no intention of trying.
well, it's been a discussion. Maybe this is what he's calling back to, is that I'll put mustard on eggs, and everybody acts like that's kind of gross, but I think it's pretty good.
Mustard on eggs.
Yeah, put some mustard on eggs. It's very like make some fried eggs and then put some mustard on it, or make you like a fried egg sandwich and put some mustard on it. It's pretty good.
I'll take your word for it.
Make her try it, Vic.
No,
And you got to try it too,
I
Vic.
don't even like eggs, so it's
He doesn't even like eggs?
Yeah,
Okay.
Dad will not eat eggs.
Neither will my brother. My brother won't eat eggs either. He'll only eat eggs if it's in something like a cake or something. But he will.
I mean, it's basically
he
like
doesn't even like it. Like if it's in fried rice or something, he'll pick it out.
I mean, there's an embryo and a yolk, and you crack it open and put it onto a frying pan, and it sizzles, and then you
And
eat
then you
it.
like to
There's
eat it
nothing
runny
gross
too,
about that.
while where it's still like you eat runny eggs, right?
Yeah, I like them runny too. I'll eat them anyway. I mean, scramble, but like I don't. That's not my favorite part of breakfast food, but I'll eat them. I mean,
Yeah, I don't eat
I
egg
could-
whites.
I'll eat egg whites sometimes too. Yeah, if I'm trying to watch my calories and stuff. But
Owl wants to know: is Incher jealous of Chris Cruz's toilet?
what's his toilet like?
Chris Cruz says, my new toilet seat cover floats silently to a close. It's a wonder. That seems totally unnecessary.
So it floats down
Yeah.
silently.
Yeah. Is that something anyone like? Is that, I know it's sometimes if you let the toilet makes fun, but is that really something you need to worry that much about to get like a magical toilet?
What if the turd pops up kind of like Undertaker's hand? Like it's like
Like a Jack in the Box? Like,
still here.
yeah.
Maybe.
Man. Have your turds ever popped back up after you've gone to the bathroom?
No, but I did have a floater earlier that wouldn't go quite down. No, it's just like 3 times. I was like, damn, this one is not going out easy.
You ever think I'm just gonna let it live?
Just no, it's
Take
like
it
I can't
outside and
leave
let
this
it go
for
free?
somebody. I can't leave this for somebody to come and find it. It's like
I meant just take it outside and let it roam free.
to set it free. I don't think it works like that.
Jonathan Jackson.
That would be some shit though if I did throw it out there and it's like, just went when I was like, so basically you just made like Captain Howdy
Mr.
or
Hanky.
whatever. Mr. Hanky, that's the name. That's the name.
After you watch that episode, did you ever try to make your own Mr. Hanky?
But I'm sure a Tootsie Roll would be suffice if you did want to make one. Like
Oh, I thought you tried to
mush
make
it
a Tootsie Roll out of your poop.
No.
Don't find out how many licks it takes to get to the center of your Tootsie Roll.
No.
Jonathan Jackson. How many times has Jack held his gun under Incher's chin?
What?
It's a reference to Dynamite Kid holding his gun under his wife's chin.
Oh.
But he meant my love gun.
No. Never happened.
Urius Tosh. Will there be an In Your Head spinoff?
Yeah, probably it's in the works right now. The Lexar show. Picture like the opening to Taxi or something, like just this little like laid back tune, just and Lexar going about his day, doing his daily task, and then it's just totally off the fucking bonkers whenever the show starts, just like Lexar doing.
Puts on his white shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lexar Vision is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Watches some wrestling, goes to the strip club, comes home, takes a picture of his dong, puts it on the internet.
Well, I don't think he was meant to do it like that.
Oh,
It happened.
oh.
But
Dobbs Dean Maya, who is the biggest?
do you think Tazo's like jealous any? Like
He's like, I'm no longer considered.
I think Tazo's a little jealous.
Yeah, and I think Lexar wasn't trying to be like outrageous.
Yeah.
Where Tazo tries too hard sometimes, I think.
Hmm.
Dobbs Dean Maya, who's the biggest snitch in history and why?
Who's the biggest snitch in history and why?
The person who sent Lexar's nudes to everybody.
The biggest
Yeah,
snitch
it's the big snitch.
in Headyverse history,
Mm-hmm.
which is just history, I say.
Yeah.
Owl.
I mean, before that, we probably would have said like, what's his name, Fred Ottman, because he was snitching on Jay Beefington. But
I wonder if, like Dobbs, does he consider Paul Revere a snitch for the callback to earlier yelling the British are coming? Like,
I guess he does, doesn't he?
Owl, does Intra have to take his clothes off to have a good time?
Do I have to take my no? I play pinball. I did play pinball like in my underwear the other day. I was just like, I'm going to go play some pinball in my underwear.
Are these internet? Is he going to pop up on the internet?
No, but I don't think I necessarily enjoyed it more than if I was fully clothed. So,
what was the impetus here? What was like the reasoning? Were you hot, or you're just like, I'm sexy?
I think I was just like, I'm going to go play pinball in my underwear. And I did it.
Was this like, what did the other people at the pinball alley think? At the arcade?
there's nobody in my house.
Oh, is it your house? I thought you meant it. You know,
yeah, I didn't walk into a public place and be like, I'm here.
Not a Ben and Air. What is those berries or something? I don't know the name of an arcade.
Oh, you're thinking of Dave and Buster's.
Dave and Buster's. That would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, my local wrestling that I enjoyed it made its comeback, and now it's so they were doing this wrestling every month right before the pandemic. Then they had to stop. Then they just brought it back, and now it's over again. They would do a live wrestling show at Pins, which is a bowling alley, and they also have an arcade, and they have pub food. And it was so much fun. You could either just get a seat or you could rent a table. We'd always rent a table, me, my mom, my brother, and his girlfriend. And so you have your meal while you watch the live wrestling. The ring. It was such a good time. And they put out a thing today that the Pins Alley decided no more wrestling, no more MMA, no more fighting sports of any kind in the building. And so
something must have happened.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate. So
yeah,
hopefully they can find another place to do this, because I enjoyed the show a lot.
Somebody must have just went crazy in the bowling alley and they don't want to have that again. Maybe one of the MMA guys like ran out of the ring and took their opponent and threw him down the bowling alley. Yeah, or maybe
head first, like
maybe somebody rearranged all the shoes. Like they took the one shoe,
now you're getting
one,
nuts.
then put it in the other, and then they're just like, we can't have this.
Jason Mitten, who is the biggest cock in history and why? He's really obsessed with cocks lately.
Yeah.
Red Rooster.
The cock of the wire.
Red Rooster.
Maybe though, the guy always puts over the Red Rooster.
Bruce
Pritchard.
Bruce Pritchard. Wow, I always confuse him with Bruce Mitchell.
When will the Headyverse expand to so much content that no one could possibly keep up with it until they devote their entire lives to it, like WWE, Marvel, and Star Wars have? I don't think I would put Star Wars in there, because like there's a movie every few years, and then they have like the Mandalorian. I mean, it's not that much content.
Like 10
Marvel, there's getting to be too much. And WWE, I don't know how you could follow every show they do.
There's an awful lot of Headyverse out there already that would take years for you to watch.
Exactly.
Listen to.
Right. If you start at the beginning, it would take a long time.
It would.
Jason Mitten, if Vince McMahon sells WWE, who should be the new owner hire or put in charge of running it?
I'd own it. Not gonna run it.
Damn.
Be like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Just let me have it, and I'll go to town.
I got a golden ticket.
Did they ever make a movie of what happened when Charlie got the Chocolate Factory?
Oh, I thought you meant of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Like
a sequel?
I mean, because he has no experience of running a factory. So, like, did he run it to the ground, or did he?
That would be a shit. If that's a sequel, just goes out of business.
He's just like he's coming up with like really bad ideas.
They are like wanting to make a prequel about how Willy Wonka becomes Willy Wonka. And it's like, why? I don't want to know that. I don't want to know like the origin of everyone.
And if Gene Wilder's dead, it's like, why even bother?
Yeah, and we always see Johnny Depp was horrible.
Nobody can be Gene Wilder.
I don't know. I not to be negative about this, but I do think if WWE is sold, that it has a finite shelf life, because you're not going to cancel your family business. You'd be like, oh, I'm going to not do this anymore. But if it's just content for somebody, eventually, if the ratings go down and stuff, they'll be like, we're going to cancel this, because every show has been canceled in history, unless they look at it as like a sporting event, because they don't cancel football and stuff. But every TV show, even ones that was around for 20, 30 years, eventually gets canceled. I just think if it gets sold to a network, it'll eventually will be canceled.
It is a hybrid of things that where if they were canceled on one network, they would try to just go to another one and do it.
But not if someone else bought it, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say NBC bought it.
Okay, if it's owned by a network.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, maybe the old content might be there forever, but I don't think they would keep running NXT and Raw and SmackDown and doing pay-per-view shows. If it wasn't making, honestly, even making money, but if it started not making as much money, things get canceled. So I just see it eventually, because it gets less and less ratings now. If it gets sold, I just think eventually we won't see it anymore. Like new WWE product.
Pro wrestling would continue with all the other promotions, but yeah, WWE World Wrestling Entertainment can't survive without the McMahons.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
you were saying what's going to happen. You once said what's going to happen to WWE once Vince dies. Well, WWE is going to die once Vince dies.
I agree. I think so too. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't want any wrestling to go away. Even if I don't currently watch WWE, I'd still want it to always be around. But
I think it could go on without Vince. I think it would. I mean, AEW, they're making their ways in the wrestling world. I think somebody else could take the reins and keep the company afloat. I think it might even get better, honestly, because you'd get a lot of these weird, crazy ideas that Vince McMahon, like refusing for people to say wrestling on television. All that would be gone. You wouldn't have to deal with all that.
But we will see.
We will see.
How much, Jason wants to know, how much to do a nude scene in a movie? How much pesos?
How much would it take?
You got to make me the $1 million man. That's how much.
I'm going to say 2 million just to have a higher price than Steven.
I'll do it for 10 grand.
10 grand? That's it?
Oh, I don't care. Yeah.
Oh.
Why not? It's just a nude scene. It's not a sex scene. Yeah. So if Jason comes up with the money, you'll get a private little video.
I think me and Steve was giving like joke answers, but I think Jack's answer is like 100% serious. He's like, come up with the money.
Jason Mitten, true story. I just added someone I don't know on Facebook, and they immediately sent me a voice message. Should I listen to it, or are they trying to blackmail me? Well, I mean, they can't blackmail you if you listen to a voice message. What are they going to do? I'm going to send out your ears that you listen to this thing. I mean, come on. You have some sense here, man.
Is he afraid there's like a virus hidden within
I mean,
the
that's a
file?
different thing, but I think if it's just one of those audios that are sent, well, you probably shouldn't click on any links, but
Yeah.
I would say whatever. I don't know. Jason Mitten, is the word blackmail racist? And can you give white male or brown male someone?
I don't want to get canceled.
I think
I'm
we
not
should
answering
cancel
that.
Jason. Think about that.
Yeah.
Let's switch. Let's turn this around. Let's get this rid of this jabroni.
Well, he's your young boy, so you
he's run his course.
slapped him back into shape.
Yeah, let's suspend him for a little bit anyway. Owl thought let's send him to camp, some kind of camp. Owl thoughts on Insurer's boy Hannibal snitching to the Canadian government about Sami Zayn.
Oh, where he was going out without a mask.
Yeah, but doesn't he travel to Texas like and wear a mask himself, like a wrestling mask so people don't know who he is? And isn't he doing illegal stuff doing that? I don't think he has he doesn't have like a work visa.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, regardless, anytime people stitch someone in for like that's shit.
Yeah.
To me, I was raised, snitching, tattletale, that stuff. That's low. That's low stuff. You don't do that.
Snitches get stitches.
Exactly.
I've been told that once, but I can't really discuss when I was been told that. It was work related, so
looked down upon in the Italian culture.
Mm-hmm.
Dobbs Dean Maya. So I was taking a walk the other day and see a blind woman pacing up and down the sidewalk. She seems to be a bit frustrated, as if she had dropped something and having a hard time finding it. So after watching her struggle for a while, I decided to go over and lend a helping hand. Hello, ma'am. Can I be of assistance? It seems to me that you've lost something. I would like to help you find it. She replied, oh, yes, you have lost something. You've lost your life.
Okay. It's like a short film or something.
I don't know.
I think this is like
yes.
I think this is like an episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents or something, and like there's the big twist at the end.
It seems like when you'd sit around with kids, like in the campfire, or like we used to do with flashlights, tell like ghost stories.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see how it's a question or wrestling related. But Brian Matthew
Good
Clutter.
try, though. Let's good try.
At least my young boy's trying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of Dobbs. Brian Matthew Clutter, what's your favorite memory of Hermie Sadler in TNA?
My favorite memory of Hermie Sadler in TNA. He came on the show and we interviewed him.
See, right? This is total bullshit here. Tyler says wrestling never gets canceled. Have you lived in the world? Every wrestling's been canceled in my lifetime except for one.
Canceled. Yeah.
They've all been canceled.
All-Star Wrestling.
WCW was canceled. It was still the highest rated thing. On Nitro and Thunder were still the highest rated shows on TNT and TBS. Both were canceled.
ECW got canceled.
Yeah. These were big shows.
On Thrill Zone Friday, they had Roller Jam.
Roller Jam was canceled, and that was really big at one point in time.
Monster Jam with the monster trucks.
Kevin Paralysis. Is it true that Sheamus was supposed to do a Be On In Your Head? It's true. Yeah. I had the banner. I probably the email somewhere.
As soon as I saw that banner, I was like, he just wanted this guy on just because of this banner.
He asked to be on. I didn't ask him to be on. He emailed In Your Head, said he liked the show, wanted to come on to talk about, he was wrestling in Ireland or something at the time. And I went to his website and he had music. It was one of the, back in the day, I used to do this on In Your Head, Without Your Head, and Tyler hated it. He got rid of it, where it would immediately play. I used to have it where it immediately just start playing the show.
I remember. And he like just totally abolish that feature to stop you.
Right. But so his site you go to and it just start playing his theme, but it wasn't his Kurt one, but it was about like hacking people with a battle axe or something. And I was like, this guy rules. He's this crazy mohawk and he's talking about, I mean, that mohawk, his hair though was like straight up in the air and bright red. And he was talking about hacking people up with a battle axe, and he had a big sword. And I was like, this guy rules. All right, let's do it. And I can make a fun banner. And then, so yeah, we're gonna do it. And then all of a sudden he stopped replying. And then eventually I got it. And he, like I said, he emailed us. And then eventually he's like, well, thank you for the interest, but I'm in Florida Championship Wrestling, and all interviews must go through the WWE's.
Got too big for us.
Yeah. So then it was like almost like a form letter.
Yeah.
Real quick, Face got to go to bed, but
okay.
I wanted to do
I called her Hope earlier.
I wanted to do the bear for her because she turned 18 yesterday.
Oh, awesome. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah. Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Excellent.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Enjoy your 18th birthday. Hope you had some cake.
Yeah, I don't really like birthday cake, so my mom made me this Oreo trifle for my birthday.
Oh, that sounds good.
I did have cake-ish.
All right, cake-ish. That works.
Yeah.
Well, very good.
Well, good night, guys.
Good night.
Nighty-night.
Ow, ooh. Did Tony Khan make a mistake by not spending $500,000 to get the rights to Running with the Devil? Chris Jericho revealed on Talk is Jericho that Van Halen wanted $500,000 to use their song Running with the Devil. Frank Sinatra's estate only wanted $15,000 to use Me and My Shadow for a parody. DMX's music would have cost less than that. No.
Who was wanting to use Running with the Devil?
Jericho. I think when they did when they did the song, remember when they broke into the song? I guess I don't think it would have worked as well if they broke into Running with the Devil.
Yeah, like the Max MJF thing.
Yeah. I think the song they used, if you like that segment or not, I think that song they used was the right thing. Like if they broke into a rock song, I don't think it would have had the same vibe.
No, I don't think so either.
Dobbs Dean Maya. Is there anybody more kinkier than Robert Bud Kinky? Robert Budzinski, I've renamed Robert Bud Kinky.
He's pretty kinky.
Owl, would you eat Brian Matthew Clutter's butter?
No, I don't think so.
I can't believe it's not Clutter.
Ooh.
Owl, excluding Above the Law, Hard to Kill, Marked for Death, Out for Justice, and Under Siege movies. What is your favorite Steven Seagal movie?
On Deadly Ground.
I don't know. They're a bunch of shits.
That's the only one I can think of outside of that.
I'll say Exit Wounds because my wife and I were extras on that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know.
And I met Steven Seagal too.
Did you beat his ass?
He doesn't want to talk about it.
I've not heard good things about him from people I've interviewed. I'm trying to look him up here. I mean, I know he is, but I'm just trying to look up movies that aren't his big movies.
He had a brief appearance in that Kurt Russell airplane movie.
Kurt Russell airplane movie.
Yeah, the one where he died at the beginning. And they were doing the airplane underneath the hijacked plane. Oh, what was the name of it? Halle Berry was in it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember that.
Huh.
I'll say Machete.
He was
Oh,
in
yeah,
Machete.
villain
Yeah, I don't know how much he's in it, but he's in it.
Danny Trejo and Jessica Alba.
Huh.
I like Danny Trejo, so I'll say Machete.
I just said On Deadly Ground because that's the only one I could think of outside of that.
That's fine.
I know he like has like a scene where he's like, "Oh, you hurt my wood" or something like that, and then he like hits this dude like he's hitting him with like this pole or something, and he's like, "You dented my wood" or something. I forget. It's pretty cheesy.
See, I completely disagree with Golgo here. He says, I like Jericho, but that Judas entrance with everyone singing is cringe for me. I love it. I love it every time I watch it. I've been in the crowd when they do it. I think it's the best entrance in wrestling, I'd say.
It's more appropriate now that he's a face, though. So I think when he was a
love it.
heel, it was kind of like, well, he's a bad guy, but we're singing his songs.
I still enjoy it. Was still really fun being there live. And when the crowd is there, I don't think there's any entrance like it when the crowd's there singing along. I think it's great. Owl, do you think Kamala Harris has ever made love in a rocking chair? Let's make love in a rocking chair. Ooh, yeah.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say maybe. She's pretty. She might be the sexiest vice president of the United States of all time.
I don't know that Dan Quayle.
Would you make love to Dan Quayle in a rocking chair?
I can't even remember what Dan Quayle looked like.
What do you misspell? Potato or something? That's all.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it
Potato.
was potato. Yeah.
Let's see.
Poor guy. That's like the only
If
thing
someone
people
did that
know
today, I
about
don't
him.
think anyone would care. But like, it was
Yeah.
such a huge deal at the time.
It was huge back then. I remember it was all over the news.
Yeah, all the all the late night shows. Like every
Uh-huh.
night, it was a joke about potato. Brian Matthew Clutter, what was your favorite match where Rick Steiner and Kenny Chaos were a tag team? I guess it's all of them. It was pretty epic times.
Rick Steiner, Kenny Chaos. That's like, who even remembers those matches?
Like Brian Clutter and Nikhil probably.
God,
Ow.
whatever happened to Kenny Chaos?
I don't know. I've actually tried to get him on the show, but I can never find any information on him. I actually thought he was pretty good, to be honest.
I liked him.
Yeah.
You remember the dynamic tag team of Rick Steiner and Judy Bagwell?
Rick Steiner and Judy Bagwell. I don't remember that one.
That was around the same time.
Owl, but the expression "if I'm lying, I'm dying" was real. How many deaths would Incher have experienced?
If I'm lying, I'm dying.
Yeah.
I do not lie. I'm very honest.
Oh man, Incher just died. What's happening? No shit. Such a sad day on In Your Head.
Yeah.
Nikhil Callahan's got a few here. It's Nikhil time! Yeah, it's time to get the big dick energy up.
Okay, so he has a few. So, like, how many pages is a few?
Gotta tap, guys. It's getting late.
Steven's going.
Good night.
Yep, I gotta go.
All right, it's
Yeah,
only
I think I gotta
17
go, too.
questions, Incher.
Good night,
17?
folks.
99.
Nikhil, I can't believe Lexar replied to everyone welcoming on Facebook, and he didn't reply to me. Why?
Maybe he didn't have time. His Facebook career was very short.
It was very short-lived. Hell in the Cell pay-per-view this weekend. There is? Holy shit, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, I used to look forward to all these shows. Now they come about, and I'm like, well, this is on.
Snuck right up on you.
All right, let's open this up. There's only 5 matches announced. What? This is a match? Alexa Bliss for Shayna Baszler with Nia Jax and Reginald.
Yeah, that was announced last night.
Yeah.
You know Alexa Bliss is going to win, and how dumb is that? Like, Shayna Baszler should destroy her, but
Yeah. Alexa Bliss. She's the winner.
Roman Reigns versus Rey Mysterio with Dominic.
Roman.
Yeah,
Dominic shouldn't be there, like you said. He should be off TV for about a month.
yeah, forever. But that's also a Hell in the Cell match. Bianca Belair versus Bailey.
Bianca's gonna win.
Yeah, I'd actually like Bailey to win. I'm not really a big fan of Bianca Belair. I think she has good matches, but I don't like the character.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte. So 3 out of the 5 matches are women's matches. I think Rhea keeps it.
I think she'll keep it. Yeah, too. Yeah, Charlotte's just had the belt too much, I think.
I actually would prefer Charlotte. But, it's weird because someone earlier said, unlike the other programs, Impact does a lot of women's wrestling. But I thought, well, I don't know what other wrestling you're watching, because every time I watch wrestling, there's a lot of women's matches. Bobby Lashley defending the title versus Drew McIntyre in the last chance Hell in a Cell match. So this is the last time.
Last chance.
Good God. They've wrestled, what, 15 times? The best of 27 series.
Um,
I hope Lashley wins, so it is the last time. Because I assume if Drew wins, then they'll keep wrestling.
Yeah, they may go with Drew. I'm gonna go with Drew because why would they say it's the last
I
time?
mean, it really makes him look like a loser if he loses.
It's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
But do you want to see like him win? And then this
Not really, but
they've missed the boat of trying to, and I think he really had all the tools, but they've missed the boat in really making him seem like a big time champion, Drew McIntyre. I don't know what you do at this point. I think you have to do something like take him off TV for a while and bring him back a little different, or do a heel turn or something.
yeah.
But I don't know. It's not really lighting my world on fire, that show. Doesn't sound too thrilling. Don, yeah, I saw this earlier. Don West just announced he has a brain lymphoma.
Oh no.
What is a brain lymphoma?
It's like a
Brain
cyst or tumor. Yeah.
Really too bad. For anyone to get, and I'm a big fan of Don West. That's too bad.
That's a shame. I hope he has they can do an operation and maybe he can recover. So that's terrible.
After winning the $1 Million Championship, where does L.A. Drake rank amongst the previous holders of Ted DiBiase Jr., the Ringmaster, and Virgil?
Pretty high up there, I would say.
I'm probably above Ted Jr., but below the Ringmaster, Virgil, and Ted. He's fourth best, I think.
Fourth best.
Mark Henry wants Braun Strowman in AEW. Would you like to see this happen? We went over this earlier.
Yeah, I like to see it.
Do you think AEW should sign Aleister Black? I do.
Yes.
Yeah, they probably do good with Aleister. Is he really from Amsterdam? Like, I don't hear any like accent, but
I think so.
Okay. I just whenever he talks, you don't really hear much of an accent. But I don't know. Maybe he's just I don't know.
Maybe just kicks ass for gas.
He could.
That's an old reference.
It is.
See, it says he's a Dutch wrestler. He's born in the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
What is Jack's favorite Eric Roberts movie? Boy, people want to know our favorite movies of people in lately. I don't know. Fucking Eric Roberts. I don't know. It Wants Blood by James Balsamo.
Hmm.
Thoughts on the rumor Samoa Joe will be the new general manager of NXT? That's cool. Works for me.
Yeah, it'd be neat.
Does that mean Regal won't be there?
Yeah, did they fire him?
Because I like Regal.
Hmm.
Thoughts on Satomura defeating Kaylee Ray for the NXT UK Women's title and in the 640-day reign? Hot damn.
Heck yeah.
Do you feel... Sorry.
Who were those two people?
Do you feel Chris Jericho is trying to rehash all Attitude Era stuff in AEW lately with the limo and water hose segment? I mean, nah, I like
I
it.
do think the water hose segment is a little overused. I mean,
Yeah, that one particular thing, but the rest of it, I mean, the limo stuff's just kind of
just kind of a wrestling thing.
Do you enjoy the only problem with the water hose thing? I think they were just too far away from the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Do you enjoy the wingman faction in AEW, which consists of J.D. Drake, Ryan Nemeth, Cesar Bonini, and Pretty Avalon? Nope.
Haven't seen enough of them, but
I like Ryan Nemeth.
mm-hmm.
I think he has something going for him.
You like him better than Dolph?
Well, Dolph's been really overexposed and underutilized, so
Mm-hmm.
why Ryan is new for me. So I like him currently. Thoughts on Kenny Omega beating Moose?
I was fine with it, but
Good by me.
I was kind of underwhelmed by the whole presentation.
I don't know what
necessarily the match.
I don't know what the hell they're thinking in Impact, but we'll see. Karrion Kross just beat 4 people at TakeOver. Who will challenge him next?
Beat 4 people.
Maybe Samoa Joe.
Could be, yeah. Huh.
Effie.
How about Eli Drake? He's got the $1 million belt. Or LA Knight.
That's LA Knight.
Yeah, LA Knight. Excuse me.
I pay for the Wrestling Observer. Does that mean I'm a mark?
Yeah, I used to pay for it.
I did too.
How do you get it? Through the website or do you like order it?
Do they? I don't know. Does he send it all the way to England town? Probably costs a lot.
I think the website's probably the better value. And I remember like when I ordered the Observer, like some issues would just get totally shredded in the mail.
Yeah, because he would literally just fold a bunch of paper over and staple it or something.
Yeah, just put like a little tab on the end and send it. But yeah, so nah, you're cool. It's cool. I'd kind of like to have the Observer, but
I would too at times. I'd read, but there's probably a lot of stuff that I remember when he really started do so much MMA. I kind of lost interest because half of it I wouldn't read. You know.
Mm-hmm.
What's the closest strip club to you called? I don't really even know, honestly, because it used to be one. We only had one on the Cape, and it closed. Zach's.
I think it would probably be JB's Gentleman Club.
Oh.
I think.
You ever go there?
The closest one to me.
When you go there, do you go there as a patron or do you go there as a worker?
It's a topless female dancer bar, so they wouldn't want me.
Do you ever just hang out and look in the window?
No. No.
Let's see. I'm gonna look up strip club. See what's the closest one to me.
There's a place in Tennessee, across the state line in Tennessee, about 6 miles, that's called, I kid you not, the Booby Bungalow.
The Booby Bungalow.
Booby Bungalow.
Oh my goodness.
I've never been there, in case you're wondering.
No, that probably was the follow-up question.
Says the closest one to me is the Boardroom Cabaret. Says it's 36 miles away. Adult Entertainment Club. It gets 4 out of 5 stars in Brockton, Mass. Closes soon. Closes at 1 a.m. Let's see. They got a website. I've actually never been to a strip club. Looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's all purple inside. We are now Boardroom Cabaret. It used to be Foxy Brockton, but now it's been renamed the Boardroom Cabaret. It's open Wednesdays through Sunday at 3 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Tyler S. here in the chat says Jack is the Lexar of the Massachusetts.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Got to explain himself. I've never rubbed myself against someone who was unknowing.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what I have in common. I mean, we like wrestling, but that's about it. I mean, I barely even like that. Incher, I brought Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu on the Nintendo Switch. Does that mean I'm pathetic?
So he bought Let's Go Pikachu on the Nintendo Switch.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're cool. I own some Pokemon games.
Really?
They go up in value like crazy. Like, so.
You selling them on the black market?
No, I won't sell them on the black market. I just put them on eBay. Sell them. Get top dollar for those bad boys.
You been selling them? You
No.
making the scratch?
I only sell stuff if I get it extra.
Tony Khan said AEW made $43 million from TV in 2020, but they invested 8 figures in the game, which makes the company in the red. Should we be worried about the future? I mean, no, that's how businesses work.
Operate in the red for a while.
And he says, thank you for... Well, they're working the red because they put money into the video game, but the video game's not out yet. So then when that comes out, they'll make a lot of money off that.
Plus, this was a bad year, too.
Yeah, but he said they made $43 million off the TV. So.
Yeah.
Brian Matthew Clutter, are you hyped for Metroid Dread?
It looked really good, so I am excited for that one. So.
Is it like Dig Dug?
No. It's not like Dig Dug.
Is this
maybe the grappling hook that you use whenever you get that in Metroid is kind of similar.
Is this a new Metroid game? Because I do like the Metroid.
Yeah, and it's 2D. It's like Super Metroid.
Super Metroid is arguably my favorite video game.
There's been a lot of sequels similar to that, so like Metroid Fusion, Metroid Zero.
The great ending to Super Metroid. I remember you actually kind of felt like time is against you when after you beat the mother brain, and then you got to escape into your ship, and time's running out and everything. It was I really got into that game. It was good. That, and then I also like all the Zelda games, but I really like the Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Al, what politician would Incher like to kidnap and torture in his basement?
None.
President Jack Tunney.
No, I don't have any politician I'd hate that much that I'd want to capture him and torture him in my basement.
Did Incher take notes during the Grizzly Smith Dark Side of the Ring?
No.
Brian Matthew Clutter, is Griff Garrison's gimmick that he's impersonating Lenny Lane or impersonating Chris Jericho? Besides the hair, I don't really see much similarities. I actually like him. I think that's a team I think actually has a lot of potential, but they probably should have kept off. If they had they should have kept them on dark for a little while until they were more seasoned, I think. but I like both guys.
Is that the dude who's tagging with Brian Pillman Jr.?
Yeah, I don't really like the tag team name, but I like the team.
Yeah.
Owl, is it true that In Your Head won't allow Headyverse members to sign their character name for fans at conventions?
Yeah.
Ultimate Beef, we own it, buddy. Get us signed
It's
that
all
Jay
ours.
Beefington. We own President Clinton.
We do.
We own Lexar. Lexar, buddy, if you want to start capitalizing on the fame, we own it all. Owl, does Intra think that critical race theory should be taught in schools? Owl,
I don't even know what that is.
does Jason comb his hair with a fork because he's a huge mark for Abdullah the Butcher? I never thought of it that way.
Probably.
Do you think if you were big enough mark for Abby, like that you'd find it a badge of honor if you would have got like Hep C from a fork that he used on his own head?
No.
With all the fake names, this is Jason Minton. With all the fake names and characters in the Headyverse, did Lexar just prove he's the most authentic member, or was he just protecting the business, living the gimmick? I'm not sure that makes any sense.
Like he's saying like Lexar is like more of a character, but really he's like he just did that to protect
No, but
his
he's
character.
saying he's the most real member.
So okay. So he's
living up to the people think of him as this, you know. I don't want to say what I was going to say, but I think he's a good man. Owl, Ronda Rousey is partially Venezuelan, though her mother's grandmother Ronda Rousey is partially Venezuelan through her mother's grandmother. So does Intra consider her a Latina?
Yeah, I don't know.
Jason Mitten, do you think the person who blackmailed Lexar was a victim of Lexar and just getting their revenge?
No, this is just some random person.
That would be an interesting twist, though, if that was the case.
I did see some like conspiracy theorists thinking it's like a Headyverse member, but I agree. I think it's just a random bot thing. This kind of stuff happens a lot. It's just a lot of people, you know, they know about the internet. No, not this actually happened. And I only say this because he posted it on Facebook. He was open about it. This happened to Man Pondo. His was video. Because he posted all about this. A woman, thought it was a woman, you know, video, sent him something, and then he videoed back to her, pleasuring himself to her pictures. And then she was like, I'm going to post this to everybody. And Madman Pond was like, I don't care. Do whatever you want. I'm not sending money. So,
post away.
I don't know if she ended up sending it to anybody or not. But there you go. All right. That's it, Intra.
How horrifying would it be, though, if like you really thought you're like in a relationship with somebody and then they're like, they blackmailed you like that?
Yeah, it'd be bad times.
Yeah.
This
3-day relationship.
I think it was the first day. I don't think he started talking to the first day he joined.
Really?
I don't think they really talked. I think it was just right to
right to the nitty gritty. Huh.
Man, I'm kind of beat.
Me too. I'm tired.
You can check out some classic interviews, some older interviews I posted that my man here, our man Vic Schiavone, recorded for me.
Oh yeah, that was your good camera work there, Vic.
The ones from 7 was. I mean, there was a real good interview with Fred Ottman that was from 6 that I didn't do that one. But
I see.
I think all the other ones, and except I'm a little disappointed that Jack didn't release the Kelly interview.
Yeah, the Kelly one didn't release. I also didn't release the Lanny Poffo. But the Lanny Poffo.
So yeah, you have that one now.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to look it over, see what's happening on it.
Kelly would have been all of 2
the Kelly I have. It's not worth posting. I have a Sean Mooney one too, but I don't have the saved separate audio for some reason. And the audio really, I don't know if I'll be able to clean it up, but the audio is bad because you hear a lot of background noise.
Uh-huh.
It's too bad because it's a really good interview, Sean Mooney. So I might post it and just tell people that the audio is a little messed up.
And you don't have the other.
No, I have them because I would record the audio separately on the Zoom and then I'd sync them up. But for some reason, I don't have that audio file. I don't know why.
I was impressed how those turned out because I remember filming them. Some of them I couldn't even hear you.
Yeah, that's why I use the Zoom at shows like that because it'll take out a lot of the background noise.
I wonder if you could like rip the audio and then run it through like the levelator.
Yeah,
thing.
I've tried different things, but all that does is it boosts the background noise and makes it even worse.
I know, like Adobe Audition or
Yeah, I've tried lots of things with Adobe Audition, but I can't because I actually still have run some noise reduction on these other ones and it worked, but I can't quite get it on I think it's because the levels are so similar.
Yeah.
But I'll try. I've been
sucks.
trying. We'll see if I can. I'll put it up somehow. I'll still put it up, but hopefully I can fix it.
Add subtitles.
Could do that.
Yeah, like parts that are real unintelligible.
I'm gonna
if you
send it
remember.
to you, and you do it. Like back in the day when I made you write out the transcript of the. I remember you loved that.
Oh, it was the best.
Tyler wants to know when you beat a Nintendo game, you feel accomplished.
Yes.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Intra sells games on the JYD market.
I don't know what that means.
Man, no, Jay Plesk's gonna be pissed though.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Sandal wished Faith a happy birthday.
I will pass that on to her.
He also says, my wife Amanda still thinks Jack is handsome, no matter how much I try to change her mind.
Handsome Jackie Jones.
I think it's true. I need to shave him a little scruffy at the moment. Do I turn you on, Intro? Want to exchange some photos after the show?
Sure, let's get down to it. Let's do it right now.
We gotta go. We'll see you guys next week.
Oh boy. This is going to be fun.
Yeah. Woo, yeah. I'm going to be slopping it.